All right. How you doing? This
Super.
is Andrew with Promotional Media. I'm here with Kaylin and KM, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Kaylin Maurice.
what's up?
I said, yes, sir. Kaylin Maurice.
Yes,
K.
sir. Yes, sir. And he's I wouldn't want to just label you as like musician. Like you're an artist, you have uh production, you create, do you not create like your logo and stuff like that? Like
So the logo you have right now is actually made by one of my friends, Johnny Tats. He made it when I was doing the radio show.
At I like him, dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
he made it while I was doing the radio show. But yeah, other than that, you feel me? Yeah, so artists, produce, engineer as well. Uh, Had to create my own website and a plethora of other things that come along with grinding.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I know it's kind of like a halfway introduction to who you are, but if you could maybe give everybody a quick rundown, your name,
Yeah.
where to find you, and just like a brief, real quick, brief history of why where how'd you become to the man that you are now, the musician, artist.
I'll make it really really brief, but I've been doing music for about 20 years. Started when I was 12, just by making beats in the lunchroom and things of that sort. End up getting like a Fruity Loops was my first program, and I started from then when I was 12. Made a couple rap groups. Very very short, story that I'm trying to give you, but made a couple rap groups.
No
Things of that
worries.
sort. Gained a little notoriety back in the day. That went into like dancing and all types of stuff. Just getting my face out there, having fun. In regards to transition over to like the role you see me as, like in a sense today, uh like you knew me as KM from KM Radio. So with all that time and experience over the years and working with multiple artists in the city, I decided to go ahead, in a sense, give back with the radio show and make it free to submit, offer royalties, and doing a lot of promotion and sponsorships and things of that sort. So that's what me and you came into knowing each other with. And then, on top of that, just myself, Kaylin Maurice, just as like, the person, the artist, and everything else, that just developed over time. And just, just going through life and just seeing exactly what type of man I want to be, alongside what type of artist I want to be, and things of that sort. And so,
Those two things, you needed to figure out how you can meld those two things together to where you're at least your authentic self when you're
100%.
the artist, when you're the musician, when you're the influencer,
Yeah,
possibly as
exactly.
well.
So it's like, so let's say, to do a quick rundown. Kaylin Maurice, you can find me at KaylinMaurice.com. Kaylin Maurice everywhere, as far as Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and things of that sort. Just type in Kaylin Maurice, you can find me. But in regards to even settling on my name, Kaylin Maurice, typically artists, go through a few other cycles and they have different rap names. My first rap name was Baby Hyphy. You know what I'm saying?
Baby hyphy.
Baby Hyphy, you know what I'm saying? That was my first rap name, paired to when I was dancing and things of that sort, with the hyphy movement I was going out here in
Right,
California.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So, we'll let you know, like, that was around like '05. So that's why I say 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, officially. So, that was my first rap name. From there, when I was started dancing and turfing more, it went to Turf Willie. So I was still rapping and dancing as Turf Willie. So then I took that name from Willie to Cool Guy Willie, and I just went straight, rapping. And mind you, during this whole time, I'm still producing things of that sort. So all these names are following every part of my artistry. And so I was Cool Guy Willie. There was a point when I was Cool Guy Willie. I think I, in a sense, just graduated high school. It was like a year or so after, and I felt like with the name Cool Guy Willie, I wasn't able to expand on the things that I actually wanted to touch on, because with the name and the moniker of being cool, you can only talk about the cool essentials of life, in a sense. And
I
then when
get that.
when you
It
start to,
boxes you in a little
yeah,
bit.
it boxed me in a lot, and so I had a lot more to to talk about. And even when I would do it as Cool Guy Willie, not that it wasn't heard and things of that sort, not at all. It was just that I always felt like it was like me fighting myself and what the name portrayed. And so I settled. I basically cut ties with my old name was Cool Guy Willie, and I just went with myself as Kaylin Maurice, which is my first and middle. And I did that as like a derivative of like how Ray Charles did it because his real name is like Ray Robinson, I believe. And so, but he went Ray Charles, and so I was like, that's pretty cool. So, I just kept saying my name like Kaylin Maurice, Kaylin Maurice. I don't know if that flows. I don't really like it. Like that was like the mode until I just settled in like, hey man, fuck it, it's me. You know what I'm saying?
It does
Like,
flow though. I mean, it's your name.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
flows.
Don't get
I
me
know
wrong.
it as that, you know.
Self conscious type of thing, like when you
Yeah, yeah.
decide to go to yourself, so it's just like, okay, I'm gonna stand on me. And that was like
It,
the main thing that I would say was the biggest improvement in my artistry and development, and just seeing the type of things that I can work on, and even obviously going towards the radio show. I was able to get my first interview that um not my first interview, but one of my first interviews after my project Life Therapy in 2020. That's when my boy Ant, um, and my other friend that I knew back in the day, he was a DJ. They reached out to me to do an interview at Ant's NFM. So after I did that interview at NFM, we talked for like an hour and a half or so. Like, we had to cut the camera, So it was like one of those, like, all right, man, we're gonna be here all day if we keep, just chopping it up. And so after that,
it gets
we
like
had
that though.
yeah, we had some great talks after that. Then eventually, without giving like all like the side details that led to the radio show becoming KM Radio and doing 7 seasons as the radio guy. So that was I would say a long-winded but still very very brief history
No,
of
that's good. That's good.
the movies.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, I actually understand and relate to the name thing. I have changed, um, I don't think we knew each other when I had my original STC media. I think I only knew 6.
Hmm.
But that like I was trying one, I had to figure out where I fit in the role that I'm trying to play in social media, and I thought I know so many people from so many industries and so many walks of life that I can't just really be like the music guy, I can't be
Right,
the restaurant guy. Like I had a whole bunch of local restaurants around here that was we were setting up times for me to come in and do behind the scenes in the kitchen, dude, making their like one of their staples in the restaurants. Like they were
right,
all cool with this, before I got deleted. um, and I needed to figure, where do I sit, man? Media felt it's just so big of an umbrella,
right,
and STC is St. Charles, so it's where I'm from, or where I was from, uh, partially. Like it was where I was at and where I started this whole thing.
right,
But then when that was deleted, man, I tried to figure out, one, I needed to kind of let go of STC because I'm not I that was my beginning, but that's not who I am anymore. We're not I don't reside per se in St. Charles anymore. Like this was where I was established, but then I moved like to Florida, and now me and the wife are getting the school bus up and getting the tiny home going. So we'll be all around. Base camp will probably be like Missouri, but you know, so I figured the thing that I am trying to do is promote and push not only um, my message and the way that I feel society needs to be ran, and what I think, I haven't really dove too much into what my prescriptions would be for society, but eventually as we are growing into this channel, that is something that I'll be wanting to project out there, is this is how I feel we should be acting, and this is what I think men need to do. I have kind of said a few on that, but so I figured, and not only that though, people with great like-minded goals in life and in society, and like people like you. And so I thought promotional. I kind of that's I want to everything that I'm really gonna get into is gonna be promoting, whether it's even it's promoting. I wouldn't say when we're addressing negativity, it's not promoting the negativity, it's promoting the want, need, and the expression of you need to stand up against this evil. Like I'm promoting the want and the need to stand up and actually do something, to stop fucking cowering down and allowing, all of us to just spin out of control. Because I do believe that men have a duty to society, a big duty to society. And I think that we are protectors of society. And I do think that that even means protecting people from themselves.
100%.
And if people think that, oh, it's all about body autonomy and just let people do them, you do you. I don't know if you know, and people in the world out here, self deletion in most
Mhm.
cases, in most places in the United States, I think there might be a couple that are okay, but is illegal. They're like, well, how is that illegal? The attempt, if you don't succeed, then comes the punishment, because they like, how are you gonna punish somebody when they do it? They punish you by locking you up in a hospital, right? They lock you down, they take your freedoms away. So if you're okay with somebody offing themselves, I guess that's on you and your soul and your heart, man. But I'm not cool with that. And I'm not cool with people if they identify as wanting to cut off their arm, as amputees, because people also they'll hear that example and they'll be like, whoa, that's an extreme. There are people who, I forgot what it is called, man. Damn it, there was a name for it, that they believe that they are born, that with too many limbs, and they want to chop off their arm, and that's insanity,
Right.
right? And I wouldn't let them do it. Would you let them do it?
Not at all.
Fuck no, dude. And I think and we have drawn that line. I don't see people actually allowing that to happen, but we have other things that they chop off and lop off and fucking, do all these other brutalized, malicious, disgusting things to us. And I think that we've kind of slipped away from, stopping that. Men, we need to stand up and stop that. We do have the monopoly on force, so I think it's time to stand up and use a little bit of that if we have to. But so yeah, anyway, getting onto the rant there, my bad.
No problem. You
Um,
get it,
so
man.
back into you were saying what made you this, and you said, you mentioned that on part of the answer. Let's get into that a little bit. What
Yeah.
did make you the man you are today? So what kind of a childhood did you experience? Are your parents together? Good household, good neighborhood, bad? Like what was that?
Well, yeah and no. It's like in most cases I would say of course mom did a great job, you know what I'm saying, with her son and all of the kids that she raised. I had a stepdad for the majority of the time. Um and then like I said, not to even speak too detailed, you know what I'm saying, but I had a stepdad the majority of the time. He eventually went away. Then I actually met my real father online, built some sort of communication with him. My mom started, building a communication. And then what most people don't know as well is that the biggest thing was me having my daughter when I was 16. So it was like
Young.
yeah, it was like a not even like a force to grow up, but a realization of
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, like okay, it's time to start, looking at things a little bit differently. And so like with the combination of like all of those things, and of course the city, I'm from Sacramento, so it's like being out here, you got to just, mind your p's and q's, but at the same time, it's more so about like I got in like an upcoming song. It's like my main thing was like, you give respect, you get respect, and that's like how it is, and that's kind of like where it is in the way of the world. But like the city definitely made me, and my situation definitely made me, and it's like it can be a multitude of factors. Like literally, I can go into specifically, that would change the ideal mind state of a young man going and flipping the switch and being like, okay, nah, f this, you know what I'm saying, things of that sort. But it's just like I would say the biggest growing up factor was me becoming a dad, and then building on top of that, and then building a family with my wife, and then realizing the important aspects of what it is to actually be here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? That was like the actual idea. Everything else is secondary, to God. Like I have like three things. Like it's like bubbles. I have God, my family, then I have like my work. And that's like my sustainability. Then in the other bubble of like the things that I also care about would be music, gaming and the MMA stuff. So like that would be like the other bubble that I'm focusing on outside of like the absolute no questions asked bubble. So me,
Understand.
yes, me looking at those things, me, reading the Bible, having Bible study with my big cousin, giving me some words, and just having a lot of community and fellowship amongst the time of me being here. And then also coming to the realization point that like we said, like how to deviate to the rant, so to say, you had earlier,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
coming to the realization point that you matter and you mean something, to the point that even though that thought hasn't went into my head to do those things, but it's the realization of knowing that if anything was to happen, that I am the head of the support system, so it's like I wouldn't want to be the one to enact on my family's downfall for any type of reason. So so even having that mindset is always the the pushing key to go forward.
um when just you say God, Bible, so curious, what's your religion?
Ideally Christianity,
Do
but
you
I
have
would
a
say
specific denomination?
nah, I mean I grew up Baptist, how we be.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I grew up Baptist in a sense, but at this moment, I would say, I will try to read. I'll try to read. I'll try to hold on to the scriptures. The hardest part right now for me is to recall scriptures. And
Yeah.
that's for me to take time and to
Um
actually
there
put
was
into it.
there was a study or somebody said something about a person that reads it once a day, um or no, somebody who reads it once a week. Fall I can't remember what the once a week, but I think they say if somebody reads it once a day, they're more likely to recall scripture, actually follow the word, and something else. Man, I can't. I think I don't know if depression was in there or something, or happiness, like not depressed. Um, can't remember, but fuck, dude, I hate trying to quote somebody. It clicked,
Yes,
and I'm like,
that
oh,
that,
I
that
thought I had
the
it, and then
recall
I was
is the
like,
hard. Like I know there was
yeah,
a scripture I believe in regards to the Levitical law, and it was regarding to what God was initially giving the Israelites as far as like how to in a sense obey Him and like how to worship and like how often to worship, and it was like it was more of a conversation between like Moses and Aaron and God, I believe, in a sense. I'm only going to say don't quote me because I don't have the scripture and things of that sort. I'm giving like a
right.
brief summary of what I remember. And it was like God was saying, "Hey, you have to, worship this many times." And there was like, "Hey, I don't think the people's going to do it that many times. Can we settle on this?" So it's like, so even in the amount that we look to and settle on is not even the amount that God was looking to in the beginning. So it's like even like the one time a day you look at the Islamic religion and you see how many times they pray. So for us to like even say read one time a day when they're doing five, we can see the math easily right there. So it's like I would say like even like for right now for me, because like I'm not really trying to be even like super preachy. I would say for me, it's me getting more involved into it, me honing into on the words, and at the same time getting my family more involved into it, which emphasizes me staying true to what I'm actually practicing and things of that sort, and making sure my mind stays clear and making sure my discipline stays at an all time high. So that's like really my main thing right now is like the biggest word right now is discipline.
So, couple things. Just wanted to, I guess, maybe not pushback, but a contrary opinion, possibly.
Yeah.
So um in the Islamic faith, it's pray 5 times,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
sorry. Exactly.
And what the person was talking about is if somebody reads once a day, does it command us to read once a day? Because I don't think it does it? I think in Christianity, I think it just talks about loving God and giving him his tribute. I don't know. Does it specify
Well,
how many times a day we were supposed to pray to him?
well, this is why, like, now you asked me, like, with the notion. I mean, this is why
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't even want to like answer in a sense. One was because when we just take out the religion specifically and just look at the Bible is the Bible. So it's like that's like the first thing how I look at it. Um, I don't believe it says how many times you're supposed to read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure that if even if we go off the 10% tide rule in a sense,
yeah,
if that one time you read is not even 10% of the time you do everything else, does that one time amount to that 10% tide? And most ideally, I would say probably no. But it depends on how much you're consuming if you actually want to go off the 10% and things of that sort.
sure.
If you want to like talk about like
Yeah, yeah,
getting the ties and things of that sort.
sure. So again, a couple things. The Bible isn't Christianity, right? It just represents it. We are technically, we would be the church, the people, Christianity, not
Right.
the Bible. So when you're walking through the day, do you ever just immediately like something happens to you, or you see something, you're like, man, God, you're awesome, thanks. Or like, don't you talk to God like all the time in your head or
I
even
can
out
do
loud?
well. I can say I can do it. So I was supposed to say not to cut you off when I did. So like
No, it's
to
okay.
cut you off, I would say I can do it a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's where for me that's where I leave myself
Well,
open
that's
to.
on. Hold on. Okay, not to cut you off, to cut me off.
Go ahead.
You
Go
say
ahead.
you could do a lot more, but you do it, correct? Multiple times a day, you think?
I can't say yes or no. There will be times where I'll be like, damn, I didn't read the Bible today,
Well, no,
you
that's not. You
or
walk
things of
and
that
you
sort,
just you
or
see
have
something and you're just like, man, God, you're awesome for that beautiful thing, or even something as stupid as like, oh man, God, thanks for letting me catch that green light. Which it's not God that's letting you catch the green light, but like I'm saying, do you ever acknowledge him for the small good things throughout the day that you go through, or even acknowledge him through bad things to say, please help me through it?
yes, of course, but
Right.
on a so to what I'm saying is on a daily magnitude and what we're actually saying.
Yeah.
Um, there'll be times where let's say I'll talk to myself
Yeah.
and come up with a problem. Well, think about the problem, come up with a solution, ideally to myself. I can say subconsciously, "Oh, thank you, God, for giving me the knowledge and strength and
Yeah.
autonomy." I can say that subconsciously, and I can say that to give you an answer right now.
Yeah,
But I
that's a
can say,
prayer though. Just the saying. So you
but
pray multiple times a day. We do way more than 5 times a day.
but
We
no, what
communicate
I'm
with God.
well, no, what I'm saying is, because I'm telling you that I can do that
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I do that every time. And so
I
I'm telling
get
you
you.
as a person,
Yeah, you need to do more.
I can do more
Yeah,
of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I
So
think
it's
we
like
all
so
can.
I'm leaving myself room to even say,
Right.
even if I do that on the here and there occasions of self-conscious and saying it, oh, thank you God for this, or hey, at least my car working, thank you God, and things of that sort. I can do it a lot more even when I open my eyes up before I get to that green light that we talked about. Ideally. And so it's like there's a lot more things, of course, that I could be thankful for. And like I say, even when I wake up, there's times I wake up and just stretch, and get on with my day before I say thank you, God, for waking me up. So those are the things I'm saying.
Yeah,
I can do a lot more
I get
personally
it.
than work. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. And sorry for my distraction. I hope my signal's okay. There's a storm going on right
Are you
now.
good? You
I
good?
I think it's hailing. I'm hearing. Oh, it is hailing. Yeah, there's hail. I'm hearing golf ball size hail
Man,
hitting my roof right now.
man.
So that's
Nah.
crazy
Yeah,
and
it
loud.
don't hail too much. It don't hail like that out here. Like the hail out here be like so small, and it goes away in like 10 seconds.
Is my signal really bad?
No, you good. You good.
Okay, all right.
I see you
Um,
good.
so yeah, we'll stray, I guess, a little away. Yeah, I do believe, away from religious conversation. I do believe that we all fall short in our dedication and our communication to God, for sure. I'm also a Christian, just to, to put it out there. And
Yeah.
I would say, um, if I wanted to claim a denomination, I don't see why anybody would really not want to go with the original Christianity, which is Orthodox Christianity, and it's traced back to the original apostles who were taught and instructed by Jesus Christ to specifically run the church that way. And I think that all these other, maybe back in the day when they started kind of spreading out, it wasn't so poisonous and people weren't like trying to warp and pollute and dilute and just warp this fucking ideology into something it's not supposed to be. Like it's just really disgusting where they're trying to take Christianity and stuff. And
Well, yeah, and that's why
that's
I
why,
like. Oh, sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry,
No,
no.
no, I was just saying that's why I
Yeah,
think Orthodox is the best because
and
they're
that's why even like
uncorrupted.
so even how you say like Orthodox and like so me even to start with my first claim, I don't get too much into the denomination of the specific sects of religion. Um, I know that I grew up Christian. I grew up in the Baptist church, but I don't go to church every Sunday and things of that sort. And so like I'm not there practicing the Christian or Baptist church ways and things of that sort. What I'm saying is that when I'm reading the Bible, I'm not reading it with the lens of I'm Christian. This is how I'm intercepting this.
Sure,
I'm not even looking at it like that.
I
I'm
get
looking
that.
at it like what happened in Genesis. Let me read to understand what happened. Okay, what happened in Exodus? And now that's how I'm reading it to get a more of an understanding. And then as I go through, or if I'm doing Bible study with my big cousin when I did, or talking with my wife, we might go to a specific thing that might maybe that might encounter our day. So we might go to a certain chapter or want to read about that and take notes and things of that sort. But it's like it's nothing to say, for example, oh yeah, I'm like I said, I'm reading this in the scope of a Christian denomination, how I'm practicing and things of that sort. For me, not at all. I just look at it now as this is the Bible. There's many forms of the Bible, but this is the Bible. Even certain parts of other religions have the Bible in it. Let me just read the Bible without the idea of the religion to see exactly my inference on it and how I can get more close to God without the division of the religions in between. Like I just want to get to
Yeah,
God in a sense.
I think somewhere in the Quran it says that it says to read the do they call it the good news? I forgot what it's called there, but it says also that all the things that are written are to be are true and should be followed. And so if that's the case, it's like, well, once you read that in the Quran and then you go and you read the Bible and the Quran says everything in the Bible is true. Well, the Bible says that anything other than the Bible is wrong. So that would say that that the Quran is wrong. So why would you even go back to the Quran at all in that
Well,
play, you know?
so also to not make this a religious
Well,
debate.
we've gotten there a little bit,
You know
but
what I'm
it's
saying?
okay.
Not make this a religious debate. So like who practiced the Quran? Just to brush me up. Who practiced the Quran?
Who practices?
Yeah, who
Muslim?
practices? All right, Muslims from the Quran. What do Muslims solely believe in as far as like their what I'm trying to say is what is their basis? So like even though they say don't go to this and don't go to that, what are they saying in this part and what are they saying in that part? As far as like is the story similar? Do the stories match up? Are it totally different characters? Is everything totally just array from the two different books? Are the books
Sounds like the
similar
story of Moses is pretty solid in there.
in the Quran?
Mhm. It sounds
Right.
like they're
So would you
about
take that? So would you take that out the Quran and be like, well, that's already in the Bible. And if you do, no, read the Bible. But if you grew up Muslim, you follow Islam, and you only focus on the Old Testament, then that's where you're going to be at. But we
they're not
know,
in Mosaic law though.
no, I know, and that will go
Right,
into like the New Testament, correct? Right.
right, correct. Yes,
Right.
sir.
Right. So if we're not in Mosaic law, but there's still people that's following Mosaic law, then they're still in
Yeah,
Mosaic law.
they shouldn't though. They're
But
following. And plus, I do
that's
believe that.
that's not me or you to say.
Yeah.
So they're still following Mosaic law, even though we're in the New Testament following
Well,
a
it's
different.
for God to say, and He definitely said. I will say that I do believe that Muslims are following Satan 100%. He is the master of deception, and it is wrapped up. All the lies are wrapped up in truth. It even says in the Quran that you're allowed, if you're, I think it says something about like if you're following your flock is small, that you can go out and lie to the people to get them into the church, to get them into God. You're allowed to go and lie to the people to bring them into God. But God doesn't lie, and He doesn't allow lying. Lying's a sin, you know. And then I also believe 100% that Muhammad is a PDF file, being that he was married or had intercourse with, I believe, was she 11 or 13, something like that, and it was his niece. Um, Also, I thought that it said something about the he was Muhammad was in the cave for a year, and he thought he was talking to God, but it wasn't God the whole time. I don't think it was Satan or something, but something
So
like
I would
it,
have
the
to say that I do not have as strong beliefs as you do for that side at all.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
Um, I would say first and foremost, I would also say to make those assertions and claims, because like how we first talked about this, and I was saying like my one of my main things that it's hard for me to do is recall. I feel like if we're going to make this a religious debate, which I don't want to make it, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to make this a religious debate, at that point, you will have to have sources and claims and bring it up, which I'm not here for. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Just so that.
Which, just to let you know, I actually do in notebooks around here.
No,
I've
I'm
wrote
not.
these
I'm not
notes.
saying. I'm not saying you
Yeah, yeah,
do or don't. What I'm
yeah.
saying is
We're
that
not here for that.
not here for that. You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
so like but I couldn't say that I do not agree with your standpoint. I have my own standpoint and things of that sort. I also don't have so much, I would say, knowledge on even the Bible, as I said before, because I'm still learning day to day. And that also goes with the other religions and their corresponding books as well. So for me to have this debate with you will be out of my notion. And so like I would decline the debate in regards to religious sector, but I also feel like in where we're at is a good point to say that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll say we're good for where we're at right here for the religious debate.
Gotcha. And just I didn't know it was, which I guess conversation, most forms of conversation might be, I guess, kind of a, it could be a form of debate, especially if you're like exploring worldviews and things like that. So, um, I guess I didn't know it was turning into a debate, but I
Well,
was,
well, to make it funny, uh, I said, hey, not to do this, make a religious, but you say, hey, we kind of there already. And I was like,
well,
oh
we
shit.
did, we
You
got
know what I'm
there.
saying? You know, I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, it's like not even like they're not to even defend. It's just like I don't personally know anybody that's that practices Islam specifically, or let's say, for example, that's still a part of like the that still focuses on the laws of the Israelites and things of that sort. But I'm not going to say what you're doing is wrong and things of that sort. Even once I come to full knowledge of it all, I will look at everything and make um, my own assumption of things and that sort, and I'll steer my family the right way and the people that's close to me in a sense. I will still try to, of course, let people know. Like let's say, even in this conversation, it's like I said, not to even dig claws or dig things into this, but it will be like healthy debate or healthy conversation, ones that need to be had, but these are ones that need to be had with the actual book in our hands.
Can we can we end with one definitive claim on your end then? If it is Christianity or Muslim, which which religion do you say are is your that's your
It's the true
stance?
one.
Yeah. Christ or Allah?
God.
Is that the
God.
Holy Trinity?
No,
God?
no, just God, because Christ, we typically put, from what I know, is typically Jesus Christ. And when Jesus Christ was here, he was specifically saying, give all thanks to my Father. He was always passing it up to his Father. Allah, I believe, is also God in Muslim terms, if I'm not correct. But they also put Muhammad as Allah, if I'm not mistaken, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Muhammad is just the prophet of
Okay,
it.
Muhammad is just a prophet, but Allah is God, right?
Correct.
So Jesus Christ is Jesus, right?
Jesus is God, though,
Okay, so
in the flesh. So he's actually God, not. He does pass it to his father, but it's really still kind of passing it to himself, being
so
he's the
like this.
holy, he's a part of the Holy Trinity, so he
So
is
so well,
all.
well see, like as I'm saying, so like
Yeah,
so even like the holy, like not to say, don't want to make this long winded in regards to
it's
debate on
totally
like
fine, and I think we're getting to a more peaceful side of.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
not much contention going on here. We're just
No,
kind of
yeah,
throwing.
yeah. And not
But
even
go
saying
ahead.
there was
Yeah,
contention at all because I don't have a horse in
I
in the
got you.
race.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we just here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have
Yes,
a horse.
sir. Yes, yes.
And so like I said, even like for example, the Holy Trinity, it depends on how. Well, one thing is that everything from a human standpoint is how we conceive it, and then when somebody explains it in a certain way, we conceive it in ways that we think or how they perceive it, or we denounce it, or we go with this, we take more information. The way how I read the Bible is I separate the three. I don't look at the Holy Trinity as all in one. I look at them as like three separate things. So when you talk about Jesus Christ and things of that sort, I look at Jesus Christ as Jesus. That's Jesus. I look at God as God. When Jesus is giving thanks to God, well, like how you say he's given to himself, I look at it as he's giving thanks to somebody else when he's transferred to somebody versus saying I'm holding this within. So when I'm reading it, I look at it and I separate each three. And there's other, like I said, not to say sources or other things that I've seen like that, to not even to say that, but it's like I wouldn't even denounce the Holy Trinity. I'll listen and be like, "Yeah, that's interesting," and I'll go just do some more research. So it's like, so it's nothing for me to be like, oh, I'm on this side of the spectrum, on that side. It's that I will listen, and because I'm still in my estimation a novice in biblical ideology, then that's when I would go ahead and take a step back and listen before I go ahead and comment and say this is wrong, that is wrong. Even like for example, how I'm doing right now, most of the things I'm leaning with is making sure that you also agree, especially if I know I may be misstepping in how I'm talking. It will be like, okay, hey, is this person that person, or that's that, just to make myself, before I state a claim or things of that sort. Because like I said, I'm still looking at it from I'm still growing in the education of it all as well. So even with the stuff that I do know, it's nothing for me to like in a sense to say, no, you're wrong. I will still receive it and listen and be like, okay, man, I hear that, and
I
things of that.
got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I do. I think as you get as you get further as you get further into it, I think that you'll see it might click. I hope it does click in that way, because that is the true thing. I was trying to look it up. I can't remember um who he was talking to, but somebody was asking him, challenging him to have God perform some kind of a miracle or come down and talk to him. And he looks at him and he says, "I've been with you this long, and you still don't know who I am." And so that is just one of many claims of him specifically saying, "I am God," like, because he asked, "Can you communicate? Can you have God come and do something?" And he says, "I've been with you this long, and you still don't recognize me as God." So
You
I
talk
just
you
when
talk
you
about when you talk about when Jesus, after he passed away and he was amongst his
I don't think
disciples.
so. No,
Talking about that
I think
part?
it was before his resurrection. I believe it was before the resurrection. I don't
Right.
want to
Yeah, yeah,
misspoke.
yeah, yeah. After he passed away. So right before the resurrection, you're talking about that as like basically Jesus coming back, like in a sense, like reconfigured himself or like in a sense like a like he came as like in a sense a different person. He didn't come as the person they seen himself as. And so as he was still giving his parables and talking as he would talk as Jesus, that's why from what I read, that's why he was like, you still don't know who I am. I literally just was with you guys this entire time. I passed away. I'm here next to you as a different person. I'm still speaking the good word, and you don't understand. You don't recognize it's me until I say, hey, you don't see as me. That's how I took that one, in regards to not just saying, hey, I'm still God. I looked at that as I'm still Jesus, the guy that was with you guys for the last, year or so.
I still believe. I think that it was before the crucifixion, though, that he was telling
No, yeah,
them.
yeah, after.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, so
Oh,
after he passed away.
oh, okay. You were
Yeah,
taking a different. I
yeah,
got you. I
yeah, no,
got you. I got
he passed away,
you. All
and then he came back in a sense as another person to the human eye, but it was still Jesus himself. So when he was speaking to them, he was still speaking to his disciples that he was just with, in a sense. And so now that some time has passed, I think it was like a week or something, I can't remember. But now some,
3 days.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm talking about to the point of that time. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I know it's 3 days, till he
I
resurrected.
got. I'm sure
Yeah,
you
from when
took.
he was talking to, like, I want to say it was like
Yeah.
Simon, or something, I can't remember. But when he was talking to like them, that little bit of time has passed to the point that he was talking to him, saying like, basically, it's like if I was to have a disguise on and I'm talking to you, you'd be like, damn, bro, you know it's Kaylin. Come on, man, you know it's me. It's one of those things, but I have a disguise on, or not a disguise, but it's Jesus. I can come as a different worldly
Do you
flesh.
think he came
The
back
Son of God.
and he looked different? Is what you
100%.
think? Do you think he
Yeah.
looked like a different person?
If he came back as Jesus himself, then why would there be a question to who is this man?
Well, because he did come. So he came out of the tomb. He didn't even come back. His body was there. I forgot what he said. Man, I think he even talks about his time outside of um the earthly realm. I think you might have mentioned it once or twice. Again, I don't want to misquote that, but yeah, he walked out of the tomb in the same body. It was the same face and same everything. And everybody wants to deny that. They wanted to deny that that was why is it that they are or is there so much of an argument because they still wanted to live in their disgusting sin. And if they were to acknowledge that this man came back and everybody else recognizes him as God, then they would have to acknowledge that everything that they're doing is a sin, and not only a sin, but it's damning them to hell, you know.
That's two things. So it's like, so you got the Pharisees. The Pharisees was the ones that was trying to persecute Jesus the entire time in regards to him saying who he was. He was the Son of God. I'm Jesus Christ. I'm the Son of God, and things of that sort. You also have John, I believe he was beheaded, because he was also a prophet in the form of Isaiah, I believe, reincarnated from the Old Testament. So you got Jesus as the Son of God, and when he was making his claims and challenging the Pharisees with these different questions and asking them certain things, the Pharisees couldn't answer the certain questions that he would answer, but he had every answer for them. And so when the Pharisees and I believe the Romans and things of that sort conspired to kill Jesus and things of that sort, when Jesus came back, this was always the war. The Pharisees wanted to have the main control of the Leviticus law, for like how the Israelites were. That's what they were. They was the Israelites. The Pharisees wanted to maintain the Islamic. I mean, I'm sorry, the Leviticus law. But with Jesus coming, Jesus was the New Testament. That was the transition, the crossover into the New Testament, but that they didn't want to accept. That was the whole thing of Jesus being crucified, of not accepting who Jesus was and um, the new coming of everything. And so when Jesus came back, to go back to our point, after the 3 days, and he was with his disciples, the rest of the world is back into the same thing as when Jesus wasn't there. The Pharisees is at rule. So when he's talking to his people, he's basically saying, yo, I'm here. Go spread the news. Like, this is the word. I told you I'm here. This is it. Go. And that's in a sense the New Testament. from how I perceived it.
I th- I think that seemed I might not disagree with most of that, at least on for the New Testament. When he comes back, I mean, really, whenever he started preaching it is where the beginning of that, but the book wasn't written until after he was, after he ascended, after he actually left. But,
Yeah, of course.
um,
It's like Moses had to write Exodus the time of his birth. Like Moses had to, in a sense, write down his birth. How would Moses know his birth?
yeah, right, I got you, right.
You know what I'm
Well, who
saying?
knows? Back then too, man, who knows what type of recollection that we would have. I wonder if back I mean they lived, thousands of years. I wonder if that
What
capability of life could have you
I
recall
don't think
even
it's
your
more
birth.
so about recollection. So it's like, so what I've known to know that of that is that if Moses is writing, let's say, because Moses had to write Genesis as well, nobody knows that story. There's no recollection of that other than by who? God. And so, like,
For Moses' story, I mean his mother
well,
ended up raising
no,
him.
the story of Genesis, the
Oh.
beginning, the beginning
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
who can write, who can actually write that?
Right, I got you. Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean it would have to be it was
God would have
divine.
to tell somebody what happened,
Yeah, yeah,
which
which
was
is
Moses,
right. Mhm.
to hey Moses, this is how everything happened. So
Yeah.
even when Moses' birth, Moses, whether Moses is, well, if you know about, like, let's say, because he had to go with the Egyptians and things of that sort, and they was trying to hide everything, and he had to kind of like figure it out. Moses's mom, the Egyptian mom, wouldn't tell him this stuff. It would have to basically be something that he would have to find out. And let's say if we even go with the burning bush, he has to encounter God to, in a sense, not having like an awakening, but to realize that there's a bigger purpose than what you're doing. And so, from what I know, God spoke through Moses to write those first chapters of the Bible. And so that was, in a sense, Moses writing those chapters. Everything else after that was, of course, renditions of, being reworded, from, passed down and things of that sort. But from what I know, it was Moses that wrote it from God's account.
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with that one. Well, let's move. Let's
All right. All right.
pin on that one now. Let's get
Um,
let's
and that
get
was that
back
was fun
to
though. That was fun. That was fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
thought so as well. I actually
That was
did, dude. So let's get back to the early days. Um, when you were in school, things like that. What type of
yeah.
student were you? Were you a good student?
Hell yeah, man. Shit, mama didn't play that shit.
Ah, there you go.
You feel me?
You
So it
get
was, yeah, so it's like definitely focus on school so that you can have all the fun you wanted outside the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
absolutely.
can't be a nigga in trouble and trying to, hang out with your friends all fucking day and come home when the street lights hit, nigga, you ain't making it outside. You know what I'm saying? So definitely make sure my grades was up. That was like priority number one. And then everything else was like, was like, not saying like, of course, like secondary, but it was like access to go everywhere else was making sure that I had a good progress report or report card. So whether that was A's and B's or, got a C here, they can make sure I ain't got no D's and F's on that motherfucker. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, I
so
got it.
yeah, so it was like, so even with that, so even growing up and going, and then like, let's say when I went from pre-elementary in Sacramento to Jackman, uh, I started getting in like trouble. At Jackman, going from seventh to eighth grade. So now, you got a little much too much time in your hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I get in trouble playing some prank on this kid that I knew since elementary in my class, right? So like, I mean, shit,
What
fuck.
was the prank?
Yeah, I
What
say
was the
fuck. I'll
prank?
tell you. It wasn't
Okay.
even bad. So you remember Stunner Shades, right? So this
Okay.
boy had some Stunner Shades. It was a computer class. He got it on top of his desk, and so my other friend, he was like, all right, fuck it. So my other friend, Chris, he was like, grab his glasses. Yo, Kaylin, grab these. Just hide them from him. And I was like, shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So I put it away, and I hit him. And so when old boy came back, he was like, "Where's my glasses? Like, where's my sun shades at?" And so we just sitting there like all smooth and this and that. Bro immediately went to me, like because like it was just like
He knew.
obviously, obviously I had them, you know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah,
was
he
like,
knew. He looked
but
at
the
you. He's like,
fact that
this
I know I
fucking
didn't,
guy's
I
got him.
didn't take them. It was just like, bro, why you single me out? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
It's so shitty that he was right, though. It's like
He was
it's
right
so
though. You
terrible.
feel me? And
He
so
had
like,
that. He looked. He did. Boom.
yeah,
That
he was
motherfucker.
right because like no, because me and him was always like not say get into it, but just dumb shit.
Sure,
So I was
I get
ready
it.
up for the shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, get me here. You know what I'm saying? Always do dumb shit and always get in trouble in that class. I was like a class clown, break out dancing and shit. You know what I'm saying? After I, just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I was fucking what 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? It's like the first fucking few months, few weeks of 8th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So just immature. And so like and so yeah, so I had the glasses. And he was like, yeah, man, I know you got my glasses. Like, bro, I ain't got them. So he goes under the so he goes under the computer tables, and it's like one table right here and one table right there. He's on the other side. He goes under and gets my backpack, and he grabs my backpack, and he starts to try to go through my backpack. So mind you, I didn't have nothing like drug illegal in my backpack, but I had some stuff that I don't want niggas singing in my backpack. You know what I'm saying? And so like and nothing weird either, but niggas couldn't
Okay.
have
Yeah. Sure. Let
nothing
people
weird.
linger on. What
Yeah,
was in his
nothing
fucking
weird.
backpack?
You feel me? Nothing weird. But I don't want niggas. No, I don't want niggas to see what I had in my backpack. And so I was like, so now I became actually emotionally invested into this fucking situation that I didn't even give a fuck about. So now I'm actually like, man, what the fuck, nigga? So I go across the thing and I grab my backpack from him, right, and I push him. And so fuck it. At the time I was selling like DVDs and shit like that, right? So I knew I'll get in trouble at school if I had it. And so
Oh,
I
I
was
get it.
so
I got it. I got.
I was selling that shit. So I knew I'll be in trouble if I had it. And so and so basically he had we causing the commotion out in computer class, you know what I'm saying? So the teacher finally gets up. Mind you, all this shit happened, the teacher ain't said shit. You know what I'm saying? He
it.
finally gets up after I walk across, you know what I'm saying? He was like, Kaylin, outside now. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. So I go outside, take the glasses from my pocket and throw them in the bushes. Right? And so I'm like, man, fuck these glasses. You know what I'm saying? And I was mad. Now I was mad. So I was like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
I throw them in the-
Now it's personal.
yeah, nigga, I was like, man, fuck it. Threw them in the bushes. And so then so now the teacher comes out, he was like, Kaylin, oh, I'm not saying his name, but oh boy said he got you got his glasses, man. Do you have his glasses? I was like, I ain't got his glasses. I ain't lying now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got his glasses. And he
You
was, and
fooling motherfucker.
so he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I ain't got his glasses. He sends my friend Chris out there, and Chris comes out there was like, Kaylin, man, I know you got the glasses, man. Just give him back the glasses, man. And so I'm like, bro, Chris, get the fuck out my face, bro.
Right. What the fuck, dude? Wasn't it his
Get the
idea?
fuck out my face, bro.
Wasn't it his idea? Didn't you say he was the one that was like, "Yo, grab his
Yeah,
glass"?
bro. So
This
obviously he knew,
motherfucker's the
and
first
I
one to
knew
be
he
like,
just
"Yo,
told him that
dude."
I knew he told them that he gave them to me and all of the bullshit. So now I'm mad that he came out there trying to be like come
Right.
on, man, just give
I'm the
yourself up.
good guy.
Yeah, I was like, man, fuck that. I was like, man,
What?
fuck it. I said, tell him I ain't got the glasses. So they go back in the thing. I'm still outside. It's probably like 7 to 10 minutes, like, and that's a long time when 8th graders just standing there waiting for
Oh
you.
yeah, for
You
sure,
know what I'm
dude.
saying? So like they called the fucking vice principal. And the vice principal was hella more mean than the regular principal. So they called the vice principal in that shit, right? And he goes in there, he was like, so what's going on? And it was like, he got my glasses. And he's like, you got his glasses? I was like, nah. He was like, all right, I know what we can do. This nigga went into the room and started grabbing everybody's backpack out the room. All the students said, we'll check every one of these backpacks until we find the glasses. Mind you, the motherfucker was never in my backpack at all.
Sure. Yeah.
So like the fact that my
Oh,
backpack
he's
was
calling you out though.
yeah,
He's
the
like, "We're
fact that
gonna
my
look through
backpack was
all your
there the
shit."
entire time, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
was like the main thing I was focused about. It was like, damn, I can't have niggas go in my fucking backpack. Like
Right.
that's the only thing. The backpack. I can't have niggas go in my backpack. You know what I'm saying?
Or else you would have fucking just kept your mouth shut the whole time.
Yeah, if like for example, if bro didn't pull the backpack from the thing, it would have been
Yeah.
like yeah, I got it. Here you go, bro.
Oh, I got you. Sure, sure, sure. You had to
Yeah,
fuck.
it was a
It
funny
wasn't
shit.
over.
Like, yeah,
It just kept going though.
yeah, it kept going because it escalated for me. I was like, oh shit, it got real for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, I don't want him seeing what's in there. And so then when the vice principal came out there, he was like, I'm gonna start grabbing everybody's backpack and go. So he starts going, he grabs everybody's backpack and starts throwing them out there, right? And starts checking everyone. And mind you, I don't know why he didn't go like to figure out which one was mine. The nigga went and it was like checking everybody's backpack. So I was just like,
Where was yours
oh.
in the line of backpacks to be checked?
Nigga was like in the middle. So it was, you
So
know,
you're watching him dig through, and he was
yeah,
like,
nigga. So it was like I didn't like
it's tick, tick, tick,
it
tick,
was
tick,
like
tick.
damn, bro, like this nigga serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew like I said, like it was like a like which one do I want to go through? Hey man, get in trouble for these glasses, or get in trouble for this other stuff that I don't even know what might be the penalty for. You know what I'm saying? I don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
like because yeah, I used to come up there just doing hella shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like didn't even want that on me. So when he started going through them backpacks, I was like, all right, man, they're right there. They're right there. And then they was like, where? I was like, right there, under the bush. And it was like, I don't see him. Hey, no lie, bro. This like faculty member in a wheelchair comes like strolling up in a wheelchair, like directly able for her to like to see the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? She just pulls up out of nowhere. They're right there. And right there. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking
I was just
perfect. Like,
right, just
uh,
perfect able. I was just like, oh, she's like, damn. And so like so he looks at it, he goes under, grabs the things, looks at the old boy, and he was like, hey, were these worth more than $1? He was like, yeah, I paid $10 for those. He was like, all right, 3 day suspension. Come with me. I was like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck? So that was my first time getting suspended.
3 day suspension.
Yeah, cause I stole something that was worth more than $1 from somebody. So I was like, that was the act. I stole something. So I was like, fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we was playing a joke, got a little dumb, and it was like fuck. So I hit that, and then my friend got 1 day detention. I was like, man, fuck that shit. So yeah, and my bad to
That's
counter
hilarious.
on that. So I got 3 days suspension. So I came back, did 2 days, and then I came back on. So yeah, it was the top of yeah. Every time it was the top of the week. So Monday I got suspended. Come back Thursday. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm there Thursday, doing Thursday, Friday. Everything is smooth. We do Thursday, Friday, and then I have a good weekend. Come back to school Monday. So after school Monday, there was a thing in our neighborhood called the Icy House. The like the little Kool-Aid lady. I'll make like the frozen treats.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. So we'll have like the Icy House. So we'll go there. It only costs 25 cents to get you a cup, a little cup. And so me and my boy, who was riding after school, and we live like kind of in the same area. He was like, "Man, bro, we should hit the Icy House." And I was in my pocket. I was like, "Man, I got my quarter," and he was like, "Fuck, all I got is a dime." Like that's how shit was. That's how real shit was. Right? He was like, "All I got is a dime," so it was like shit.
Damn.
Fuck. So he was so down the street there was this other dude that I'm actually cool with now, so I'm not gonna name his name either. Let's just call him fucking Michael. All right. So down the
All right, Michael.
down the road there was Michael, the first dude that I had an issue with, and some other random dude I never seen. Right? Mind you, these are like I wouldn't say squares. I never met Michael at all, but my friend knew who Michael was. I guess they knew each other for a while. So he yells out the from down the street was like, "Yo, what do y'all got a quarter?" And then Michael says back, "Fuck you, bitch ass nigga." And so my friend was like, "Man, fuck that, bro. Today's the day. Today's the day."
Today's the day.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm about to fight him, bro. I'm tired of this
You
shit. I'm
said,
about to
he
fight him.
said, you see this straw? You see that fucking camel? The back has been broken.
Yeah, he
It
was
is
like, fucking
gone.
today's the day. So mind you, I don't know their previous B, probably from elementary and shit. I don't know. We
This
in
shit
eighth
fucking
grade. You
goes
know what I'm
back
saying?
to the juice boxes
Yeah,
and
like I
shit.
don't know.
The
You feel
big
me? It's my first
blocks.
time seeing no boy. So I was like, cool. And so we go on our bikes, we ride up on them, do the little
Snack
skid
time.
mark, skirt. You feel me? My boy dropped his backpack and was like, let's go, Michael, let's go. Michael was like, fuck it, all right. So Michael was like kind of big, you know what I'm saying? Like bigger than us, like fat big too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
Like
sure.
like eighth grade chunky fat kid big. Like hit one hit, fuck, nigga, watch out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So,
got you. Lay you
so
out. Go.
yeah, so my boy Alex is like, basically, just ducking and weaving, hitting him with some shits, right? And then then Michael hits him one time, like bow, hits him one time. It was like oh shit, and Alex just kind of like, he gets kind of rocked. And my bad, I said my boy's name, but fucking hell,
It's all good.
yeah, he gets kind of rocked, but then he was like, shit, fuck it, nigga, like nigga, I'm still here. So they start fighting, and then my one of my other close friends, he was he loved to fight. So he was just like, man, fuck this shit, I'm getting in. So he goes and tries to fight, Michael too. And so then now they all fighting. And so then now I see them trying to fight, bro. Not having a bad time, but it was like shit. Now I go in there, I was like, shit, let me try to help out too. You know what I'm saying? So now we all there trying to help out this fucking fight. And
All
then
three.
yeah, so big ass dude, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, what's
now
Michael doing, man? Like swinging.
no,
Like,
actually, Michael's at this. No, we actually subduing the fuck out this nigga. And so this dude comes out and was like, "Hey, I don't give a fuck about y'all fighting. Get the fuck off my car." So it was like,
oh, you
"Oh
guys are on
shit."
a car?
Yeah, it was just moving. You know what I'm saying? Like this moving. You know how fights be. So the shit was moving.
Yeah.
And so
Throwing on hoods and shit.
yeah, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? So so he gets up and Michael was like, "Man, fuck that, man. Come around the corner to my house, bro. We're gonna fight." Right? And so my boy was like, "Hell no, I ain't going to your house to go fight you. We
Right.
out."
Let's
You know?
let me come over. Can I come over? What time?
Right, right. Nigga, so it was like, hell no. So me and my boy, we
There's gonna
left, and
be
everybody
juice and
else.
snacks, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, bro. It was like, man, fuck that. So we left. We got the quarter from my other friends that that seen the fight, that seen us all doing it. So we got the quarter from them. So we went to go get an icy. It was I remember it was '06 September motherfucking 26, because I got NBA Live '06 and I had it on pre-order from GameStop, and I just got it from the house, and I was using. Remember, I had that backpack money shit I was telling you about.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I was using that to finally pre-order my first game and buy my first game, because it was hard for me to get games at that time. So asking my mom for a game will only be at Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to just get some money in my pockets as a young nigga to go buy a game and put it on pre-order and be like, cool. That was my only goal at the time. You know what I'm saying? So think about all the dumb shit that happened for me trying to get this NBA Live '06. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Was it worth it?
the game was fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I get home, and my cousin and my sister opened my game and is playing my game before me to make me mad, because they opened the wrapper to say, yeah, nigga, we played the game before me. I'm like the youngest out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck. So I kicked them out my room. Me and my boy Alex playing the game. Everything is great. So that happened on a Monday. Now it's Tuesday. We go to school. Man, this is all after school shit. Nobody's seen this but like five motherfucking people. You know what I'm saying? Not really including us. We go to school that fucking Tuesday, and we about to go to first period, and the fucking security guards is just calling out all of our names. Kaylin, other friend, Kaylin, other friend. And we like, the fuck this shit. We trying to duck and shit, right? And then the boy that I had the confrontation with the week before, he was one of the people I was there. This nigga was standing out, and mind you, he wasn't a nigga either. So this nigga was standing out there. There he go right there. There he go. Putting us down. So we like,
That
oh
is
shit.
some
So they like
straight
come over. They
pathetic.
like come over here. So mind you, we thinking like we in the good. That was like some after school shit yesterday. So
Yeah.
they represent, and my boy, he's not there to be seen. Like the main person I fought, he's not there. This nigga comes in all sleepy eye, late and shit, walking through the quad like this, and just on schedule, the dude, and there he go, walking in. He he
He's
comes,
like, oh,
yeah,
man.
like what?
There he is right
Yeah, there
there.
he go
You're
right
like,
there.
what?
So nigga, they had us so they had us in that fucking, they basically made us write report to what the fuck happened. So obviously they went back to school and told what happened. And so we was there from first period to fucking sixth period in one room, nigga. Uh just basically serving like a detention just for these niggas to say, all right, we're suspending you guys for 3 days. Nigga, it's like, bitch, suspend me in second period, nigga. You didn't go suspend me.
They want Dude, it's almost like what
nigga.
they do at fucking work, man. They wait until Friday to fucking fire you.
Yeah, bro. All
Let you
right,
get
that
some
shit worked for
work
me,
in there.
bro. That shit was horrible, bro. So like, mind you, so like I said, like we in that one room for hella
You said
hours.
first period though. They got you immediately. I'm sorry. I had that back immediately. You said, why would you want to stay until second period? No, fuck
Just
that.
go ahead and
Just
let
get
me.
it over with.
Yeah, suspend me, bro. Got me writing reports, trying to say what happened and stuff. I'm trying to like, make it seem like we heroes and shit. You know what I'm saying? In my report,
Make
you
you
know,
seem like you're a hero. We we saved the
really,
day.
really challenging my
My
eighth grade
crew
brain.
didn't
Nigga.
even.
Like, I'm trying to really make it seem like nigga we the heroes in this shit. Like nigga, we was confronted
Dude, you told him, man. Look,
all over a
I
quarter,
could.
nigga.
The one thing that was missing from my heroic act was a fucking cape. If I'd have had that,
Facts, bro. Nigga, I
been
remember
off.
me describe. I remember me deliberately describing the way how I punched dude. I was like I punched slash pushed him out of the way. Like, bro, it's like my eighth grade
I,
mind trying to make it
I
seem like
punched
is
slash.
that is that even better?
I went like this. I went, uh.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Like what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, it's like bro, like just like dumb shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So got suspended for those
Kids, dude.
days, and then before I didn't get a chance to come back to school, my mom seen that I got suspended basically twice within those like fucking 7 day like school day span in my first 2 weeks of eighth grade, and was like, hey, bro, you out of there. Got me the fuck up out of there, and I got switched over to a different school in a part of the city. So I had to basically go there, and so that was like my middle school. And then the crazy thing about it was that was actually like probably one of the best things for me, getting in trouble and her making me leave. And it wasn't because of like, how people be like, oh, it saved my life. I'm pretty sure it did. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still living where I'm at. I'm still going. Like I had late start Mondays. I'll go up to the school on Mondays and be in there and eating breakfast and shit with the people and go to my school. Like I'll still go, communicate with all my friends, be there on the weekends. Shit, after school, I'll go up there, make sure I come home. So like the thing, nothing changed. All it did was gave me more access to more people that I didn't know about. So now I'm like, well, shit. I got people over here at Jackman Middle School that that I grew up with everybody, and I got this whole new people that I had to grow up with at Heritage Eddie. It's a whole different type of people. So I was just like, man. So I remember me even being like, depressed the first few days going to Heritage 80 because the culture shock was so different. Like it was just like yo, it was like so hard. I'm riding the bus now. I'm not riding the bike. I'm walking 30 minutes to get to the bus stop. The bus is like a another like 45-minute ride just to possibly be late. I gotta get the so I'm like I'm going through all these different things as an eighth grade. I'm just like, man, fuck this shit, bro. And so yes, like even after that, like the only thing that probably like made it fun was my friend that I knew from Prairie Elementary. His ass was fucking suspended. And so like like at that time I didn't have a cell phone, so like knowing where your friends went from elementary to middle school, it's like miss. Oh, I heard this nigga went to Heritage Eddie. Oh, I heard he went to Monterey Trail. Or I mean the Ed Harris like that. You hear about middle school, but you don't know until you get there. So
Yeah.
I get to this damn middle school that I heard my boy was at, and he's not there. So I'm like, bro, this shit is ass, man. Fuck this school.
Shit is ass.
This shit
Fuck
is
this
ass, bro.
place.
Fuck this school, bro. I go back now. It's like because I get there on a Wednesday, so now those first 3 days is whack. I get there Monday now, and I go to my second period PE class, and I still got the big ass backpack. I ain't got no locker. Got all my books. I look like bro, like I'm like 5'3", big ass yellow backpack nigga trying to just make my way and shit like that. Just trying to figure this shit out. All my clothes and the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
Right.
bro, this shit was horrible. This nigga comes walking in the gates. You feel me? Like it was kind of like you ain't seen you ain't seen that friend like oh shit nigga yo niggas dap each other up nigga was like oh shit nigga and that I'm gonna be real after that point the school was fire started meeting everybody else, and it was just like, okay, this is where everybody be at. This is where the fun happens, or this is where you go hang out. Like so, that made it a lot fire to the point that when I had the opportunity to go to high school, I would have typically went to the high school I graduated from, which was Valley High School. That's why I would have went to, cause I still lived in the area. But I was like, well, shit, I gotta walk through Valley High School every morning. I'm gonna see everybody. I'll just walk through the school every morning, say what's up, go to my other school, and keep building what I'm building. So mind you, in this time, I've been rapping since like seventh, since like probably like seventh, eighth grade, doing my own stuff. And then now I'm branching off to like, thinking about trying to like open up my growth in areas of people in my reach. So I was thinking about that. So then of course I went with dancing, going to parties every fucking weekend, which we call functions. So making sure we're at the function every weekend, making sure we hit up every school to go dance at and shit like that. So it was just more so about like in the time, it was just having fun, but not knowing that you're actually building up groundwork and memories in people's brains. You don't really know that until you're having a discussion with somebody, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, bro, I remember blah 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 at this function." And I'd be like, "Nigga, you was there?" You know what I'm saying? What you talk about? And so it be things like that, and even go back to the point of like the whole Kaylin Maurice thing. See, though, like I said, like you can hear those times. You can see like Baby Hyphy in that, the Turf Willie in that, the Cool Guy Willie in that, but there's not so much of the Kaylin Maurice in that, from what you know today. And so when I can look at all the different things, even like this very, very small things that I gave you right there, that was just like, comical, but at the same time, major monumental moves in what happened in my life, just on like an academic role, and then going to like, expansion in that to like the reach and the growth of the people. It was just more so like a necessary step to justify some of the memes, because none of that would have really happened if I didn't take that nigga glasses, bro.
Right. Bottom line, some good things can come out of stealing somebody's glasses, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you
I
know
didn't
what? So
steal. It was a prank gone
I know,
wrong.
I do, I know. You just like that's why I want to, but
But yeah,
I
yeah,
will say this:
yeah,
what I took out of that story, and what I think others should take out of that story, is that
yeah.
even through mistakes and through things that completely shift and alter our life, and we think for the worst, it actually is shaping and growing us to the person that we're going to be in the future. And it's up to you whether you want that to be a positive thing or a negative thing. You want to keep sulking and being a fucking pissy bitch about, having to switch it up for some reason. I mean, that's your prerogative. You can go around and be a sour asshole, but if you want to take all the negative things and even the positive, but all the negative things that come into your life and try and take that as an opportunity to shift it for betterment of yourself and maybe others. I think that's the wise move. I do believe that it takes a strong person to do that, and it seems like that's what you did. You took instead of that sour shit and walk around with a chip on your shoulder path. You said instead of that, you went and said, okay, bad things fucking happen. um I have good people in my life. You hit old dude, he comes, and that starts it. It's all about the connections and the people that you let in your life.
Hmm.
You let the right people in your life, and they get you into the right circles, into the right orbits of company of people.
Right.
And I do believe that we now a strong, excuse me, a very strong man who might even be influential if he's not out there utilizing his strength or his influence. What kind of fucking strength is it? You
Right.
can't really be a strong man or a strong person solo. Like you can be strong for your family, sure, but how far do you want that reach to go? Anybody outside of that isn't going to look at you like that, which, like you need the judgment of it. It's not what I'm saying, but if you want to actually project positivity and try to affect society in a positive way, you're going to have to utilize your strengths to influence, and for people to see this is what I went through and this is where I'm at now. I didn't let it bog me down. I pushed forward and I decided to allow it to elevate me. I do think that people have this victim mentality, man. They're all what me and my wife what me and my wife have called. I don't know if anybody else. I've never heard this terminology from anybody else but me and my wife, but we call it the feel sorry for me people. The
Hmm.
feel sorry for me. The ones that are constantly telling you everything really bad in their life, and you can see that they're doing it for validation. It's kind of like when people are fishing for
Right.
compliments. Like, oh, I just got my hair cut, or it just looks terrible. It's like you're just fishing.
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
me to
Oh
fucking
no,
tell
man,
you
you
that.
look great.
Right, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Like, just
Nah, yeah,
uh
I agree with that. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I super like even like with myself, like even like the stories I say, like a lot of stuff I'm reluctant to speak about, and not because of I don't want to speak about, it's because it's deep, it's a lot, it's detail. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like these are like a lot of different things. Like I we spoke about, like like hey, how was your family life? How was this and that? Very very brief synopsis of like how things growing up and things like that, to give like paint a very very broad brush. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, so I would say like how you was expanding on as well was like you see all these things in your life, and is whether you might take it as a negative or a positive, things of that sort. It's just more so about like, bro, this is who you are. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened. Make something of it. You know what I'm saying? Was it a lesson, or was it, no, not to be cliche, but was it a blessing? You know what I'm saying? What did you, like, learn that, and then if it was a lesson, make it into that blessing so that it won't be a repeated act. You know what I'm saying? So that you have more ideal and discipline to be like, okay, well, obviously that was a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So let me not keep doing that. And so it's just like, and that goes with like the same principles, like how people say like, well, like, what they say, like, to repeat the same thing. What they call like when you keep doing the same thing over and over, it's a form of
Well,
like
insanity.
insanity. Yeah, insanity.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
like,
trying
I
to
don't know why I want
expect
to say.
different results.
Yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, I wanted to say like idiocy. I don't know why or something like
Oh,
that,
I
but
get you. I
yeah, but
got
yeah, yeah, I wanted to say insanity. That's what I really wanted to go towards. So like,
you. I got you.
so yeah, so it's like looking at that and then looking at what you're doing and being like, yeah, bro, if I just keep doing this, bro, it's gonna change tomorrow, without making like a slight tweak
An
in your progress.
alteration to the
Yeah,
to
like
the
make a
you
slight
can't
tweak
keep
and
stepping the fucking same step and think that it's gonna be a different fucking path
yeah,
that you're walking. Like
yeah, exactly. You got,
change up the steps, change up the path.
yeah, like it's like with anything in life, it's like you got to go ahead and challenge yourself to the next thing so you can go ahead and conquer that next step. Like you, if you keep like literally people doing the same thing, it's like stepping on. It's like say you're trying to walk up a pyramid or walk up, the fucking thing that Rocky ran up, right? It's like
Sure.
going up the
Definitely.
first three steps
Definitely
and
does.
then going back down those three steps because it wasn't, you wasn't consistently taking that one step. You just like, okay, these three steps work, and now you're just doing this all day, going up and
Yeah,
down.
just going up and down
Yeah,
the three
motherfucker, you
steps.
running and shit, but you didn't
Right.
get nowhere. Like, yeah, you look good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Sure.
Like, you're still getting healthy and shit, but you didn't make it to the top yet. And so
Right.
it's one of those things of me looking at certain things. I might do it in like my daily activities, my daily ways how I do music and just everything. You'd be like, all right, damn, bro. If I like, did I do this shit last year like this? Sometimes I might have a great idea, and then Facebook as remind me 7 years ago, and I be
Oh yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there. No, I be sitting there like, this shit was hot, right? No,
Yeah.
I be like, I already did something like this, bro. Let's change it up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get more creative. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just like also like I said, get reminded of like who you were back in the day, to the point that you can live in that nostalgia, but at the same time understand that you're moving forward as well.
I believe it was Thomas Edison, and I'm not going to get the numbers right, but I'm just going to throw out a number. It took him 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, and what he said was he didn't look at it as he failed 1,000 times. He said that he figured out 1,000 ways the light bulb doesn't work.
Right.
So he took those L's, which people, I like the if I take an L, it's not a or it's a lesson, not a loss.
Right.
I think Bryson Gray said that in one of his songs, but I've heard other people say that, and I think that that's a fantastic way to look at it. A loss doesn't necessarily have to be a loss; it can be the lesson to have you prevail from the next similar situation, if not the same situation, to
Exactly.
where you succeed next time. And that turns your loss into a win. And I think that turns the loss into a lesson because it taught you how to win next time. But I really like the way that he said that. He's like, I didn't fail on the light bulb 1,000 times. I figured out how the light bulb doesn't work 1,000 different ways. Like that's
Right.
fucking a perfect way. It's the half empty, half full mentality,
Exactly.
And look at where we are now, man. This shit's all lit up, dude. My screen's lit up. All this is because of that initial, determination and perseverance to continue to um take the step but tweak it like what you were saying.
Right.
So he didn't just do the same exact thing, he just did a little different, a little different, a little bit, sometimes way different, but in the end there was the beginning and then the end, and there was success, and the failure looked way different. Like you can see maybe the first and the second try look very similar. You could probably see like if you were trying to step it, you can just see the tips of my other finger over it.
Mhm.
He wasn't exactly on the same footstep, just a little different. And it might even look like that until
Right.
eventually when you get the end, you see that it's this far. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was
went
way
somewhere. Yeah.
fucking different from where you started.
It's
And it
like
was all learning to get to that.
your failure leads to your success. So it's like
Absolutely.
so it's
Yeah.
like even like with working out and stuff like that. And mind you, I'm not no fucking guru or nothing like that to even give tips. But like one of the things I've been trying to like really focus on was hey yo, do my reps till failure versus oh do 10 or do this. You know what I'm saying?
Do it
Like
until you can't push it
yeah,
anymore.
do it till
I
failure.
actually heard really successful um what are they called? Body fuck are they, not personal
Sports,
trainers, but
sports scientists at this point. I've been looking at
yeah. I've heard plenty of people that work
yeah,
out say that exact thing though. It's like you don't, if you have to limit it to sets and reps, go ahead. But
yeah,
one of the best things to do is just push yourself to the limit to you can't do it anymore,
yeah.
and and you just keep doing that.
Because I
It'll
think
eventually grow.
I was watching this other sports scientist. He's on YouTube. I forgot his name. Well, his name is Mike. I don't know his channel name, things like that. But like, he was talking about like even like being able to do like a certain amount.
Bodybuilders is what I meant. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no problem. He was talking about doing like being able to do a certain amount of push-ups, and it was like there not that there comes a point where they won't help you out, but there comes a point where it won't like build up muscle mass because you're only doing a certain like limit for yourself. That's why people end up having to go to the gym and put on extra things or extra muscles to like break their limit. So it's like it's kind of like saying if you can do 50 push-ups, not that there's no difference in you being able to do 100 versus like your cardio or your stamina, your arms getting tired. It's not so much about you being that strong. It's about getting tired before you hit that 100 because you can definitely do your body weight. So
Right.
it's like instead of being able to do 50 or let's say 10 reps of some easy weights or whatever the case is, how about you focus on doing 5 to 6 of something that's kind of challenging for you so that you can keep building up and not be at that same consistent weight moderately. Like challenge yourself so that you can break through that next limit. So that's
Right.
like one thing that I've been trying to like I would say focus on and just the daily discipline I keep talking about. Just trying to figure out like what can I do to break through that next limit of what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, if you only do the things that you know, then you'll never learn anything different.
Facts.
You have to start from a place of lack of knowledge, a place of beginner. You have to start somewhere, and it's always at the bottom. Usually,
Right.
not a lot of people know how or can or have the connections, money, whatever, to start at the top or start even in the middle. You always got to start in the ground and work your way up. So
Right.
yeah, that's I like that way of thinking. So in that, so you say seventh grade, eighth grade, you were doing music, rapping, I guess, or what were you doing specific? Were you even making beats at that? Were you guys
Yeah.
pounding on the table, or were you
Yeah.
just
Beats.
flowing to existing songs?
I didn't even rap. At that time,
Okay.
specifically. So like, I would say like on a more like introduction to doing more so music, I would say my family growing up and like like the pots and pans and shit. My cousins making rap songs, so then I make a little count to 10 rap song. I make a song about wrestling and shit like that. That was like before I actually got invested into like making beats. But like even like the lunchroom table shit, that was because I'm at the kitchen table with my cousins and he nigga got the pencil and he's showing me to do his beat like, yo, can you do this? And my little ass can't do it. And I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And so now by the time in, seventh grade and shit, like well, sixth grade at the time, I'm the nigga that know how to do the grinding beat, with not missing the hits. I'm listening to like, hey nigga, you missed a kick drum right there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hold on, bro, that's not how it go. You know what I'm saying? So like so just like figuring out I remember like listening to songs and then my thing would be listen to a song and then being able to go to school and be able to do that beat. so that if niggas wanted to rap or just even be like, oh, that was clean, they'll have like, oh, that nigga doing the blah 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 beat. You know what I'm saying? So
I
like,
gotcha.
I remember like one of the big ones was the fucking the whistle song with Jules Santana. You know, it was like that beat was like a lot of percussion in it, and it was like a it was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that was one
Yeah.
of the beats that I'll do too, and you know people used to fuck with it, and so like so that was like the main thing. I went home and we had this cool friend of the family. His name was Big E, Eric, and Big E. He produced, but I didn't know what producing was at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he seen me at the house, you know, making some beats on the table or some shit. He was like, "Yo, okay, man, you ever thought about making some real music?" And I was like, "Nigga, fuck you talking about, nigga? This is real music right here. Nigga. What you
Yeah.
talking about, nigga?" You know what I'm saying? He was like, "No, no, I ain't talking about that. Like actually, like radio, like it could be played somewhere." And I was like, "How do you do that?" That's where it started. He was
That's
like,
it.
"Yeah." I
There it
was like,
goes.
"How you do that?" He came back like a few days later, with FL Studio, and loaded on a computer. It was FL Studio 4, and I just put it on the home computer. You feel me? I just took up everybody's MySpace time, and I was making beats. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so I was on that shit, just just figuring out shit. And I remember like the first beat I made. You know what I'm saying? I called it the hover beat. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it was just like just doing all that shit. And then eventually, after I made a few beats, um, I I didn't. Nobody really knew I did this. 'Cause I was like just now getting into it. But then I was like, well, shit. I gotta figure out how to, get somebody on this stuff. I mean, I don't want to ask somebody, or somebody come to the house. I'm like, shit, let me just write something real quick. So then I dug back into what I learned when I was a kid with my fucking cousins and shit, and it was like, let me just write something. So I had a Nokia flashlight phone and a beat I had just made, and I went to the speaker, like just went to the speaker and played the beat and just started rapping. If I messed up, start the whole song over, keep going again. No,
Standards.
yeah, I have to wrap it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on a fucking Nokia recording. I can't
Yeah,
go back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Again,
can't be
like,
chopping and
hey,
shit,
yeah, ain't
right?
no fuck ups, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting here trying to like, just wrap the fucking song in the fucking flashlight shit. And then I remember I would take that sound recording, and I don't even know how, bro, but I was able to send it as a recording. So I was sending it as a recording to a couple of my friends. And so they'll play their song like, "Oh man, who this? Oh, that's me. This just sound pretty clean, right?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." So at this time, it's just like by I got to the point of recording, it's just like eighth grade, ninth grade. So like that summer part of eighth grade, ninth grade, not going to high school yet. So now that we're there, I'm full fledged out of Heritage 80 and shit like that. But like I said, I'm still tied to all my people that I grew up with. So now I'm making music, and one of my friends has the music, and I guess he's playing it, where everybody else is at. So I'm at the house, and I get a call from him, and he was like, "Hey man, a couple of our friends want to come over there and make some music." I was like, "Who?" You know what I'm saying? He was like, John, which was Johnny Tats. He was like, John wants to make music, and my boy Lil Oz, which passed away. Well, he was like, he's like, they want to come over. So at the time, I knew Lil Oz, but I didn't really know who John was. Well, I knew who John was because like the school, but we wasn't in like proximity to be like, yeah, bro, come to the house, right? So John, look, obviously I talked to John. John was like, he heard Leon fumbling his opportunity to go rap. So he takes the phone from my boy, and he starts to basically was like, "Hey, yo, okay, bro, I heard you blah blah this that," and like it was like trying to like really make sure like niggas was able to rap. And so I was like, "No, yeah, for sure, man, I'll slide through." So everybody slid through that day. And that was when we made our first song, like just recording some shit. I made a beat real quick, made our first song, and that's when we made the group to set as like a rap group. Before that, I already, because I was like I said doing beats and shit like that silently by myself. I already had a thing called KK Productions, which was just my name, KK
Yeah,
Productions. So
sure.
I had that, and so when I started involving everybody, KK Productions became the label, and I started having the different groups under it. And the set was like literally like a Wu Tang, because it was like everybody that we hung out with from like our schools and shit like that. That would just be outside, nigga, waiting to go to class and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like anybody would claim the motherfucker, but there might be only like five niggas that would actually rap. You know what I'm saying? Do
Yeah.
the music. And so like so we did that, and then from that. a lot of people from the set started making their own, sets, or not sets, but like their own like little groups. So then we had Go Dumb Click, which was GDK. Then we had Rack Out Boys, which was Lil OZ and his friend Adam Lee, who both passed away unfortunately. Um, but we had them. We had like basically three subgroups under KKP. So I went around to everybody's house, taught them how to record, taught them how to make beats, taught them how to basically get up to standard to like is let's make some music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can say if not 100% of the people that I helped out at that time, I'm going to say 100% of those people still do music from those lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope. So, so
Yeah.
for me able to see everybody still doing it, even if we don't talk every day or make music together exclusively, things of that sort. It's like I can see like the branch, you know what I'm saying, even as a younger than I did. And, even parallel to when I did cam radio stuff, you can see like the different branches that I was able to like open up for myself and other people in the city. Even like for confidence levels for some rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like give them that platform and letting them know like, yo, this shit sounds smooth. So it was just like, just always being able to be the plug in essence.
Yeah. 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 That's somewhat the idea of what I'm trying to do here is I might even change like the name at some point. Well, add a word, maybe hub or something,
Hmm.
because I want to be like a hub for everybody. The
Right, right,
go
right.
to a good spot for everybody to know. Hey, you know what? This dude knows a lot of people. I need something done in like this industry. Maybe I can figure out what they're doing. Come and check it out. Maybe later down the road, get some panels going where we can all come together on the channel and discuss upcoming things and possible collaborations and things like that.
Facts.
And kind of and speaking on that, what well, I'll get back to that one on what your upcoming things. I actually had a question about,
Yeah.
so in your early days of your music or even recent, doesn't matter. Here's the question. Um what song would you say was a song that you made that you really thought was going to make an impact, and you like it was this was it. This was the thing that, man, when I put this out, people are going to fucking hear it and they're going to love it, but it didn't get the attention that you wanted it to. What song would that be?
Cliche speaking, I would say like, me being a artist still trying to fight for attention, I can literally say that would be every song and not getting its actual thing, you know what I'm saying? But if I would be like on like a pinpoint thing and be like, oh, I expected this one to do this and it didn't. Um, that's really hard to say, to be honest with you. Uh, it will probably have to be like like a single. You know what I'm saying? Like something you'll probably throw out there to like, just to be like, okay, this might happen, this might happen. But like even when that happened, it still did what I expected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't really say nothing generated what I expected. It's more so about it's a really hard time now with put it like this. If I was starting now in the industry with the stuff that we have right now, and even being like a middle school or high schooler, to me, I think it'll be a lot easier because your pool of people that you're there in front of every day, you're presently there in front of your audience every day. And so, so nowadays, it's more so about just trying to get the people that you know are engaged with you able to actually see what you're doing, so it's hard to really say this didn't get the engagement that I wanted when I know that there's certain things that, let's just say, like with that the social media companies are doing to limit engagement. Like
Absolutely.
it's really hard to be like, damn, this didn't do what I wanted to do when I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I expected to do something like this. But like to say a song, I'm gonna be real, that's really hard, bro. I'm gonna be real. Cause the
Well,
songs that
let's switch it a little bit. Maybe it can help you nail down an answer. What would be a song that you want people to revisit more attention? What's something out right now, whether it's old or brand new, something that you would like people to, well, more of, I guess, the old, but something that you want people to
I got you.
revisit?
I got you. This is a song that I didn't even think that I would be revisiting. Um, like a heartfelt song you just get off your chest type of thing, and you be like, okay, that was good. That was good for the soul. And so you got other
Perfect.
songs. So you got other songs on your album that's like, oh, it's gonna be the slap. This could
Yeah, yeah.
so like it's a little bit different. Oh, this gonna be the
Right.
slap. This one is not a throwaway, but I'm thinking that people might listen to it and be like, man, that was pretty cool, man. Thank good shit, K, and then move on.
Deep.
That so the song is off my last album, Moments in Motion Volume 1, and that song is Fly Away. So the song "Fly Away" was more so about like a ode to my mom's, uh, with me having my kid early and things of that sort, and like kind of like explaining how uneasy it was for me to like go through that. Some of the things that I faced, like the scrutiny that I faced at the time, having to go through the blowback and things of that sort, standing up on my own morals and just figuring out stuff on my own, and as a man just powering through that. So that song was more so about that in so many different ways. And like when I remember like it was like probably a couple months ago, I went to my Apple Music, and you can see like your top result, and I was like, man, who the fuck is slapping Fly Away? Like who is playing this shit? And then then you see your friend. Like I said, I had a song with my boy Elgin Mexican. It's called Waste Time on the same project, and he had made a post. So when somebody made a song with makes a post about me, you automatically thinking it's the featured song that you probably did with them. You know what I'm saying? So I check out the post, like, a couple of hours, I'm probably working. So now I go check it out. They be like, let me see my boy posted for me. So I check it out and he posted fucking Flyway. And I'm like, nigga, you listen to the Fly? You listen to Flyway too? Oh shit. And so it was like one of those songs like, oh damn. So like I would say most of the songs that give me like the opposite aspect of the original question is the songs that I don't have too much faith in myself, and people look at it and be like, damn, bro, like, how come we don't do more of this, or how come we try to do that? I remember there's a song I have, or two songs, Life Therapy on my album Life Therapy in 2020, and then my other song, Reaching Out, also on Life Therapy. Um, I on Life Therapy, I did this like kind of like little like skit scat at the end of it. And like, that was just more so like, I'm in the studio, like, getting my vocals, like playing around and shit. And so I kept it in at one point, and then when I took it out, everybody was like, hey, what happened to that end part? And I'm like, oh, you want that?
You like that?
Yeah, okay. So I put it back in, and the same thing with my other song on "Reaching Out." I was doing a lot more harmonizing, a lot more singing, that I don't do at all. You feel me? So it was like just experimenting with my own voice, and then seeing where I can actually go and push it. Because I look at people like, for example, yo, Wiz Khalifa got hella songs singing. I don't think of him as an R&B singer, but that nigga carries his tune, he carries his harmony, he carries his melody. And so you can look at certain people that you can probably like learn things off of. Let's say like even like when J. Cole might do something or Kendrick might do something, you can think of someone and be like, they're not somebody that's you're thinking that's going to actually hold a ballad or a R&B tune, but when they do break out and do like some kind of like harmonic type of riff, then you'd be like, hey man, I salute that. So then you have more ability to kind of reframe in your brain like, yo, am I even pushing myself to the limit? So that's kind of what happens on most of those songs that I would say, I'm not really too sure about this one. I'll put it out there anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then, people might come talk to me about that song. So a little different experience on that.
To touch kind of on, I mean, to kind of extend a little further to the I don't know about it, but I'm gonna put it out, and just kind of switching the question to a different end of it. What song do you think, or what song do you have that you, when you made it and you put it out there and you're like, man, why the fuck did I put that trash ass shit? Or like, why didn't I do a better, or the message, like, the one that you're like, fuck, dude, why did I even do it?
See,
But you left it out there because
that that actually doesn't happen with me. So like, I'm,
that is,
I'm gonna be
don't
real.
fucking happen.
Fucking doesn't
That's
happen with
okay.
me. So
Well,
like,
you're
no, well,
talking
I'm
earlier about
expand. I'm
perfection.
gonna expand on it though. I'm gonna expand on it because
Yeah.
I have an answer for you. But when I put it out there, it's only because I didn't went through multiple ears, multiple affirmations to saying we doing this. When I push upload and submit, I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So like so that's my first thing with that. On the contrary to that though, the one time I would say I actually had to do an overhaul of all my music. Not recently, probably a couple years ago. I went ahead and remixed and remastered all my songs. So like without people knowing, obviously they know now, hopefully. But like
I got you.
I did that purposely. So like when I had some of my previous works, let's say when I was doing my singles, before I did my album New Genesis, the Life Therapy album was up there, and then also a other few singles was up there as well. So that was in 2020 when I did that, which probably means I was mixing those songs 2019, 2020 with, that type of knowledge base that I had. So by the time 2023 came around and I did my New Genesis, my sound completely changed as far as clarity, drive, and all types of stuff. So my biggest thing that I didn't want was for my listener to go to one album or one song and then randomly get shifted to the next song, and the sounds have a very, very different drop off in perception and depth in the weight of the song. So I went ahead and went back to all my master files, and remixed every song, remastered every song that I had out already, to match the levels and the oomph of what I was doing now to make it in the same studio quality in my ears. So I did a full overhaul, not because I didn't like the songs, but I wasn't pleased with the quality that it was mixed at when I put it out initially versus what I was able to do today. Well, and at that time. So I did a full overhaul, changed some shit up, made some new drops and shit. You know what I'm saying? Had a little fun with some songs. And so it was just like cool. And I put it back out there, within the same time stamp. And I actually learned that from like a lot of different artists will like have a song out or album out, and you might fuck with that song tough. You might hear that song 4 months later, and you be like, because I'm an engineer, I'm like, man, this shit sound a little different, bro. I ain't got the same. These motherfuckers changed something. Nobody else hears it, but because I'm listening to it, I'm like, nah, I fuck with that shit because of this specifically. They didn't add a hell of shit. Now you can tell like, oh, that shit was remixed or remastered, and sometimes it'd be a good thing or it'd be a bad thing. But I know specifically for me, it was a good thing because when it comes like levels on like the streaming distribution sites, it's like a standard at this level. So when I was mixing back in 2019 and 2020, I didn't know the standard. So when I would mix and master, it could be at that, it could be right here, it could be right here. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a single, not an album, then my singles might, have different types of like variances versus me
Yeah.
knowing my sound and being like, nah, I gotta hit these certain spots right here. And then, outside of that, it is what it is. So that would be my thing of saying like me listening to my music and being like, ah, now let's pull that and let's get this back out there in the right sense. So yeah, so not a song specifically like, oh, I don't like that song. I actually did have to actually speak on that. I actually did have a occurrence with a person that I had to, in a sense, repo my verse, because they put like hella auto tune on my shit, and I was like telling them like, hey, like get rid of the auto tune, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm not a fan of
Yeah, just,
autotune
just get
at
rid of the
all,
auto tune
ever.
for me. And
Period.
somebody was he was trying to like make it seem like that's what I wanted. I'm just like, nah, like basically dude wouldn't acquiesce to it. He put the song out. I had to go through a bunch of means, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and get the song removed. Got the song removed. Of course, he was bitching and shit like that. And I'm like, I try to have multiple dialogues with him to the point that me and the producer reached out to me. He was hella sensible and just understanding like, hey, the mix sounds good. Just bypass the auto tune. Just let it go like that.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was like, cool. He did it, bypassed it, and the song went out, on his end, but not officially because of no, because of what happened. So it was just like that would be the I would say the one song that would be like man, I wish it would have just came out how it was intended, you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? But
Yeah.
that also goes with, if I'm not the one engineering on certain things or, the main producer, then I know if I'm just the artist, I'm going to be just the artist because I know what hat to wear. I'm going to be the artist. So even if I do speak up in certain ways, I'm going to speak up mindfully in regards to just my voice, but not to really change the full entire track and what you're trying to do. Like, I still, like, don't get me wrong, if there's something like totally off, I'm like, hey, did you notice this? I'll still do those things, but I'll still give it to, like, engineer preference, and they probably wanted that to be extenuated in the sound. So like I'll listen to things like that. But when you're manipulating my voice and you're telling me not that I sound good, but you're telling me this is how I sound, and I'm like, bro, no, it's not. Like you
I know what my
know,
fucking voice
yeah,
sounds like.
you're trying to tell me I listen to all your music. This is the best.
Gaslight me, bro.
It's like, bro, just take it off. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that would be the only, I'll say, major conflict that I had with this song. Um, Pseudo going out.
I think that was a very solid answer, and it expanded on multiple ends of that. Yeah, dude, that was pretty good. I like that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I kind of I guess as you were right before you were starting to answer it, or as you were in the beginning of the answer, I remember how you were saying perfection is one of your things, man. You sit there and you listen and you listen and you listen
That could
and
be a
you
downfall, though. I'm gonna be real.
sure, because then because I mean nothing's ever truly perfect anyway.
Yeah,
So if you keep looking for problems, you'll probably end up finding them.
100%.
Uh, but I think that the process of wanting to make sure that everything that you put out is crispy clean and to its authentic self. I think that standard I see that standard fucking down the drain in the music industry. Actually,
Yeah,
nobody fucking cares. They're just pumping it out and pushing it, and it still gets so much attention. I don't
yeah.
understand that at all, dude. What the fuck is going on? It's simpletons, is really
Well,
what it is. You're too complicated, is what it is, man. You,
yeah, yeah,
Punch,
100%.
Six, all you motherfuckers, y'all great, fantastic, elevated, okay, artists, MCs that put out amazing stories in your music. You're falling short because you're going over their heads. It's not shiny and simple. It's fucking in depth, deep, and meaningful. And that's foreign to these fucking assholes.
Yeah, and that's like the double edged sword, and that's also like the not to even move it along, but like what I was saying, like I have a new project. So like
Well, actually, that was I was gonna be asking about that. So,
the
hey man,
segue.
what's this new project that you got going? Look, there you go.
Matter of
Go for
fact, new project comes out June 23rd. Call no, sorry. So yeah, I got this new project
it.
called Say Something. You know what I'm saying? And the whole idea of Say Something was one, I needed a name for the album. Not just playing. The whole idea, the whole idea
You'd
was
be
more
like,
so,
just say something.
yeah, but more so about like speaking up or don't speak, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Put up or shut up.
yeah, that's what it really is. And I would say like a lot of like the drive also came from like me having or not having, but me getting an opportunity to do the song for Vigilant. That
Dude,
you obviously threw
I'm
up in the air for me and
so
Six.
thankful, man, to you
I
and
appreciate
Lil
that.
Six for that, dude. That is, and
I
I
appreciate
fucking
you on
love
that
that
one.
song.
That shit was
That's
dope, bro. I appreciate it. So
yeah.
like, so I would say like a lot of it came from there, and also like I said, like following the discipline of like uh making sure if I'm gonna make an MMA song, I'm not gonna make an MMA song about this stuff and not actually go practice the shit. Cause now it's like I'm just preaching something that I wouldn't even go do myself. That's bullshit.
Oh, I love your mentality on that, bro. That just it just I have that same thing. I was watching First Amendment auditing, and I was always in the comments thanking you, thank you guys for pushing up on the government for we the people, and it felt
Hmm.
so fucking hollow. It just didn't feel right, man. So I picked up the camera and went out there and did it myself. I had to
Yeah, I just felt
show
like
the effort.
I had to go jump in, and so it was
Yes,
like, see, I seen that once that gave me the opportunity, and it gave me like the drive to like think about those things. I remember me telling you, I was like, y'all want to go to places, and I got a lot of places out here. I'm gonna go meet some people and see exactly. So it was like, I'm not gonna just go up there and just not try to like go fucking train. You know what I'm saying? And so, and even that wasn't even my main thing. My main thing was I really got interested in this fucking MMA shit, and I want to go there and see what it is.
that's so
And then,
cool,
yeah,
dude.
so when I jumped into it, it was just like, like really just like the small technical things. Like, first I went into like, I just want to learn boxing, teach you some boxing stuff. Then I accidentally went into a kickboxing class on accident, bro. My fucking boxer trainer, I set a class for him, and he was there talking to everybody right, and he had dipped off. So I'm like, what the fuck, my one nigga that signed up
Oh,
for
you
this?
thought he was? You thought you were gonna be with him,
I thought I
and
was
he
doing the
leaves. You're
boxing
like,
shit.
wait,
And so
where's my
then
dude at?
this other black dude named Coach said he came in, he with his family and shit. They all chilling. And they like this over there just talking on the mat, right? So I'm just like, by this time I'm like, shit, maybe there's no practice, maybe there's no training today. I'm gonna go hit the body bag in my own workout. So now I'm gassing myself out, trying to get a good workout out. This nigga Coach said, it's my first time meeting him too. I didn't even know who he was. He comes over and was like, all right, get the running. I'm looking around, and everybody where I'm at, we just start going to the mat, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this fuck. So now I start doing it right. So mind you, all I did was
You
boxing.
could
So
have
we
just left, dude. Go ahead.
that's some bitch. That's some bitch shit. You can't just do
There
that.
you go. All right, that's cool.
Nah, I'm gonna do the class, nigga.
You're
Shit. So
like,
like,
fuck it, I'm here. I'm doing it.
yeah, like oh shit. So mind you, I'm thinking it's still like boxing, maybe a different trainer. So we doing like our regular warm up drills, butt kickers and shit. You know, like high knees. Doing no, just doing everything we need to do. And
Yeah.
so then he was like, all right, leg kicks. And I was like, leg kicks? What the fuck are you talking about? So now that's so now like
Boxing, bro.
we're running in a circle the entire time, like trying to keep our cardio up, and then so we're doing all these different drills, like like the little sideways things, shit. We're doing everything. So this is my first time. He was like leg kicks, and I was like, shit, what the fuck am I in? I'm like, hey, nigga, I don't know, maybe it's just gonna loosen up my hamstring. So I'm doing my leg.
You're
Yeah,
still trying to
fuck it.
just. You're trying to
I'm
work
trying
it
to
out.
really think. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he got some different shit, different
Boxing.
trainer. Okay, cool. So I'm doing the leg kicks and shit like that. And I'm seeing niggas like, kicking hella high. And I'm like, I mean, I could kick high, but I was like, I don't train for this shit. So I'm just trying to figure shit out. I'm like, all right. So now we get into everything and we finish that little warm-up session. Now we get into our, our drills. So we're doing our drills, he's teaching us basic combos. So he teaches me this combo and then, so I said I'm doing that right. And then he wanted me to do a switch and then do a right hook. And so in boxing, the last few classes I was in there, I know I'm there to do MMA. So I remember non-technical as fuck. I'm in that motherfucker like this, switching stances, right? And my boxing coach was like, no, don't switch stances. There's no reason for you to switch stances in boxing. That most likely means that, you're gonna get picked apart, you're gonna be tired, your legs hurt, some shit. Stay in your stance. You never want to get off in boxing. And I was like, cool. So I'm in this fucking kickboxing class. I'm thinking it's boxing, right? And so I'm doing this setup, and he was like, "Yeah, now switch and throw a right hook." And I'm like, "Switch? Like switch my stance?" I'm like, "Hey, the nigga, the last coach said I couldn't do that shit." So
Yeah. Hold on, you guys need to communicate here.
I'm having a real
Switch
paradox,
things.
nigga, with my brain. Like, you want me to turn and throw a hook? So I do it. That shit felt hella weird. He's like, nah, do it a couple more times. So now I'm getting used to it. So now we doing that. Then he was like, yeah, now after that switch, you can throw a leg kick to the liver or something. I'm like, a leg kick. So I'm like, I'm practicing. I was like, so coach said go away, and I'm like, hey, what class is this? Kickboxing. I'm like, what the fuck?
He answered you like that. He's like, "Yo, it's kickboxing."
Kickboxing, we still drilling. And so I'm like, oh shit. So, cause like mind you, in my head, I'm like, maybe I'm in Muay Thai, maybe it's the MMA conditioning training, maybe I'm doing this, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm in right now. I'm really just like
Justified it all the way up
I'm
until
I'm trying to figure this shit out. So so we do that. But I would say the kickboxing shit put me up on so much game and like where not that I needed to be, but where I wanted to be. It was more so like because I remember I did a couple of boxing classes already with them, but like I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do slips and rolls yet. You know what I'm saying? So I remember we in class and we just like doing our drills. And it was like the way that they was teaching it was like so sped up, like you should already know it. And so I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, damn, bro, this is like not. It's kind of hard. And it was like they just made it hella simple for me. And so it was like I remember me doing like 3 4 boxing classes, and taking it really really easy, and then going to the kickboxing classes that I'm thinking is still boxing, and then nigga the cardio is ramped up, everything we're doing is ramped up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm sweating hella more. I'm like, oh shit, this is nice. I'm staying up with it, but I'm like, what the fuck is this? So after I do that one, I was like, hey, that shit was clean. You know what I'm saying? So then my boxing coach ended up leaving, and then Coach Seb became the boxing coach as well. So then I have to like. So then the fucking
Oh, cool.
yeah. So then it became both of them. So now we do. I
Yeah.
might go to a boxing class, and he'll because he's still the kickboxing coach. He'll be like, yeah, if I want to throw a little side kick in or blah 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 and roundhouse, go ahead, feel free. So then you start to see other people that you might think is just like like just the guy on the computer throwing the best fucking kicks ever. You be like, man, who is this guy? Nigga got the. And you just be like, you get humble. You just get humble. You know what I'm saying? You be like, all
Yeah.
right, bro, I got some work to do, and that's all it really is to it. I got work to do.
That I think that's amazing. That something as I mean, dude, you guys, we communicated. You made the song, and then boom, now you're in the world of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I will officially extend this. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm sending this text.
No, you
Um, I will officially extend this out from Vigilant MMA and tell you that when you are ready for your first fight,
I know,
uh,
man. I
we
know.
got yeah, we got you, dude. We'll put you down there, and being where you're at, we usually. I mean, I don't know. You'll probably want to bring the fam or something like that. But if you were gonna go by yourself, we would have flown you out. But you should bring the fam, dude.
Yeah.
And we'll probably even do. Man, if you do something like that, dude, we'll get a fucking B&B, Airbnb together, dude. You know, we'll
Yeah,
all
I know.
chill.
See, like, so like the thing, because like, don't get me wrong, because I thought about all this stuff before I even went to my first UFC training class. You know what I'm saying? So I remember even when I fucking put my first training class, Vigilant, and your ass was under my damn comments, just get
Fast.
in there. I was like, hey,
Let's go. Dude, I'm like, oh shit. This I'm like,
motherfucker.
let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. So like even like for me, like it's like cause I honestly respect this. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at it like even if I was to get in there, bro, like I'm not on no high head shit. Like oh yeah, I took a few classes, bro. Let's go ahead and train or let's go fight even an amateur. I don't care if he had one day of training too. It's like nah, I'm stepping into a fight, amateur, pro or not. It got to be serious. And so it was like so even knowing how much I was in my infancy of starting everything, and even still now, I'm still in my infancy, you know, of everything right now.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
like it's me looking at it and being like, yo, 100% love the invitation, but respectfully, can't even do that to myself nor the brand. Let me go ahead and let y'all do y'all thing, and I'll work myself up until I get to that stature. You know what I'm saying? So even like when I do like my sparring sessions when I was here at the UFC gym out here, it was just more so about like I would say like even when I did my spars, I don't think I ever like had a bad spar. You know what I'm saying? So even knowing confidently in myself, I was like, oh damn, I learned this, learned that. You know, so a lot of things is like I'll say still like in the growing aspects of it all, and just
Yeah,
also getting it right in the body, knowing the step movements, like um, seeing how technical a lot of things are and how much of a thinking game it actually is for a setup. Learning when to do a combo and why you do a combo, and knowing that even if I practice a 7 fucking hit combo, I might only be willing to hit the first three, and that might be all I need. But the fact that I trained for 7 lets me know that I can keep going if I needed to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's like let's listen to like all the little different things the coaches said. I remember he said he was like 100% you're never gonna use none of these combos in the fight, but it builds up your endurance for when you need to throw a combo in the fight.
sure. Yeah,
You
right,
know,
right.
I
Yeah.
was just like,
It's like you never
damn,
will,
you're right. He's like,
but
you won't use
it'll
these
help you
combos, but
if you do.
have a little muscle memory to the point that shit, I might take iteration 5 out this combo versus doing the whole. Like I remember this nigga was teaching us like 13-step combos, and we sitting there like I remember my partner, he was like, if he throws on 3 more steps, bro, I think I'm gonna fucking die. And I
Right.
was
What is this? A fucking brutality on it's brutality. It's
hey,
like
don't lie, bro. It be so crazy, bro. And it'd be
Mortal
weird with
Kombat
how your
shit.
body, how your brain and body learns it because it becomes like a dance routine. So like, let's say it's like back in the day where like, I used to like, dance with my family, things like that, and like perform, do like talent shows like that. Even before like turf dancing, when you learn a sequence dance from start to finish, it's more so about your body is just flowing once you got it down packed. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the same thing when you're doing a certain drill. Once they show you the combo and you like, you get your hands right, you get your brain right to do it, then it's more so about like the muscle memory. And that's why when you see certain people when they're drilling with people like I say, a specific trainer they've been working with, they just go up in there and they just like feed off each other. They just be rolling
Yeah.
around that motherfucker. It's like it's damn near muscle memory. It's like this is what we've been drilling. And so it's like, yeah, it's like that would be probably like the one thing that I really want is like a consistent sparring partner and things of that sort. Like even like I'll say like outside the gym where I can like actually like learn and like practice certain things, like especially like when it comes to like setting up kicks. You know what I'm saying? Like not that I want to kick a nigga in the head at sparring with me and shit. But but it's like
But
not
you
having
might.
a body bag to like go through, it doesn't always feel 100% right when it's time to actually throw the kick. And then compared to what I remember when I trained, I did my first roundhouse kick when I was with Coach Said. Um, I remember the impact that it landed on the glove. I was like, nigga, I'd rather kick somebody in the face 100% more times than doing the jabs. But also it's more of like a you got to set that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it's not just
It's
about
just hard just to walk up and kick a dude in the head.
yeah, yeah. Like for example, like like I stretch every day now because I know, like, let's say when I was trying to do a certain kick, like I was practicing the tornado kick, right? When I first did it a few weeks ago, I damn near pulled a muscle or something or strained a muscle because I was trying to, like, like see how far I can, like, stretch my leg out, not thinking
Sure.
about doing my hip flexors and doing all that other shit. So now I
And
have to
you're
go back.
whipping your body, so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm not thinking about all those different torque actions that I'm doing, and so it took time for me to go ahead and be like, you know what, let me go ahead and work on my stretches and do this stuff, so that when I go and do this, it's not just me trying to go ahead and throw a kick for the first time. So let's say, like, even for like somebody, like, let's say a UFC fighter was to go out to a street fight. I mean, was to go out and, and unfortunately have to defend itself in a street fight. I'm pretty sure that they can, do any move of that day. But I'm also pretty sure that before they put on their regular clothes, they probably stretched.
yeah, right, right,
They
right.
probably stretched
Yeah,
that morning. They could probably
most
kick the fuck out. Like,
yeah, most people that are serious about that type of a lifestyle, man, they usually, yeah, when you wake up, it's routine
they're
to
probably
throw in a
warmed up
stretch,
already for the day.
and they're ready to
They're
throw that fucking kick as high as they
in
can get it.
jeans, nigga. Fuck it, jeans and flip flops. Let's go.
Flop, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you be like, fuck. And so it's like, even knowing, like, okay, morning, let's
This
get this
dude just
daily
kicked me in the
stretches
head
in.
with jorts.
Yes, nigga, he did. Flip flops, nigga.
Yeah, jorts and flip flops. I got
the,
fucked
the
up.
sandal was the sandal was still flying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and like also like looking in Sacramento, like the more that I'm invested, the more I get hella stuff like algorithm wise pointed towards me. So I start to see how vast the fighter community is in Sacramento. And to be honest, we probably have more fighters in Sacramento than rappers, which is crazy. There's so many different gyms and fighters and people that's out here. Like, you got the Uriah Favorite gyms. I think it was like Ultimate Fitness off in Folsom. Like a lot, like was Team Alpha Male. Uh, a lot of people that to the UFC come out of that gym, just me looking at it, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, and that's just one gym. You got, feel like this. If there's a taekwondo spot that you might see for, like, you put your kids in, there's always there's other stuff out there. But the taekwondo spots, because it's so familiar to our eye, we see it all the time. But we don't see
Yeah,
the small dojos, the small jujitsu shots that they're working out of, the small, Muay Thai places that they have somewhere. We don't really see those stuff. But when you go look for them, you can
yeah.
look at the
You see
zip
them
code and be
everywhere.
like, there's 5 in my fucking zip code. Oh
Right,
shit.
right, right. Yeah.
And so, like, my main thing right now is I want to get to a point where one, I want to be able to, like, train consistently and things like that, and be able to hold my own, but at the same time, be able to walk in those other dojos and other locations and learn from the people that's there, and not feel like, I don't belong, or I can't keep up, or I'm not even willing to learn, or I'm scared to get choked out when I'm in, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like, nah, nigga,
Right.
like, show me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, those are the things that I would say I'm looking forward to going forward in this daily journey.
And seeing where that leads you, whether it leads you in the cage or not, you're
Yeah,
on this you're on this path to learn this side of or in that industry. Really, you're in the industry, period.
yeah,
Whether you go and explore it professionally or amateurly to professional, that's to be determined, correct?
yeah. I,
Is
I
what you're
said,
saying.
like, the way I look at it, obviously my wife and things like that, they have, like, other reserves. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, maybe not want you doing that. Like, 'cause I even think about my age. Like, I'm 32,
Sure.
so I think about, like, damn, I'm starting kind of late compared to everybody else. Then I go talk to other people, and, like, somebody that's there, or they'll be like, man, I'm glad you should be glad you're starting early. And they might be like 44, and they're looking at me like,
Yeah.
you should
Right.
start early. So it makes me be like, man, you fucking right. I can't just be
There,
like,
there was a guy, I can't remember his fucking name, man. He was a high school teacher. He's in the UFC. He was a high school teacher. And he bought MMA or jujitsu learning videos online,
mm-hmm.
learned them, and he was like really fucking good, dude. He went right into it and started just banging it out. And he was wearing pink shorts all the time.
Sound familiar. I gotta look it
Yeah,
up.
he was a badass fucking guy. He was one. I'm as much as I'm like in the industry, I'm really not in the industry. When I got into working with Vigilant, the pandemic already happened and it knocked us down to amateur status. So I don't really even know the pro side of it. and we would I if we did operate on the pro side, I would know a lot more about the UFC because
Yeah,
we would have people like I know King Bao, man, I asked him once if he would fight for us, and this was before I realized we were only amateur, and he
yeah,
was interested, man. And then, just I
right.
found out I was amateur and we can't get it. I got to get us up to pro status, and he got, he's doing his thing with the list and all that shit that he does, man. He's such a badass dude. But
Right.
anyway, my point is that I would know that, but I don't really know so much about the fighters and stuff. I know
Yeah.
what was it, Anderson or yeah, Silva, I
Yeah.
think
Anderson
Anderson
Silva.
Silva,
Yeah.
dude, motherfucking beast, the spider they called him,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He was. I watched when he was before he lost a couple times being cocky.
Yeah.
Um, I was following him and the teacher. I think it was like Mike or something. I can't remember the teacher, but that's kind of
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because you saying that reminded me of like that era. It was
yeah,
around the era of like the Anderson Silva and things of that sort. And
yes,
I can't. I know Anderson Silva. I think he fought Forrest Griffin, but I don't remember him being. I'm trying to think about who was the teacher, like who made that trans. I can't remember. But not yeah. Like I would say, like even back in the day, 'cause at that time I was heavily invested in the video game. You know what I'm saying? So I was like I told you that earlier story about just trying to get that fucking video game. I was
yeah,
invested. Like matter of fact, I traded that fucking MMA game, the UFC '09 or some shit, I believe, for my first MacBook. You know, like video games and like my shit like went hand in hand for a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a lot of things like played off each other. But yeah, like in regards to like diving into that, Anderson Silva was definitely one of the ones. You got Rampage, you got Rashad Evans, you got Daniel Cormier, fucking fucking John Jones. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like George St. Pierre. It's like it's like a lot of people that like even growing up you see because you play the video game, it's like the same thing you like playing like Madden or 2K
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Five at the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you see these people now, you be like, okay, you start to like kind of like get a little more entwined what who the people actually are. Then you start watching like, some of like the UFC shows with the contender and things of that sort. And you start to see like everybody's personalities, and especially now social media is open and all the fighters I just named are like I believe they're all retired now from like professional fights and things of that sort. You can like relive some of their stories and see exactly where the game is going now. And so it's like so seeing who's in it now, it is really, really hard to keep up with because it's not that it's like new people or new champions. I like to watch like the Saturday prelims and stuff like that. So it's always like a new person that I'm looking at. I'm like, oh shit. So by the time it gets to the championship, like I typically know the champion, but it's more so about you don't know who the challenger was unless you
Sure,
watch months before you see them just fight and you be like, oh, he's back. Oh shit. So
right.
like so it's like the only thing I would love for like the MMA community, it's on ESPN Plus, but I wish it was just on like ESPN so that we can have more access to like these big fights and make it
Sure.
more universal, like how like NBA or how like NFL is. I feel like the UFC can actually be one of those staples because it's a lot different from boxing. Because boxing, it's not like an organized thing with like one chairman like Dana White. Boxing
Yeah,
is like the different promotions getting together and then making it happen. And so it's like with the like with like a Dana White thing, I wish it was more accessible to everybody that wasn't able to pay that subscription fee, especially for the
I
big
agree.
things of that sort.
Yeah, I actually agree 100%. That's probably, I mean, probably not, but at least maybe on that side, that might be one of the biggest reasons why I don't even watch shit like that is because I don't have the fucking. I have very limited interest anyway to watch it like on TV in person. Fuck yeah, but on
Yeah,
TV, I've very limited, and then you throw like a paywall at it too. I
yeah,
stop right there. I'm
yeah.
done.
Hurts the interest of it all. Yeah, so
Right. What do I need to, or why? Yeah, I just, yeah. I think to have it more accessible, I know there is a lot of money in pay per view. There is a lot of money in people watching and streaming, paying to stream it. But as big as it is, it's a whole monster now that is unstoppable. The UFC. There's no way that the loss of the money that they will have, which yeah, they will feel it because I'm sure it's millions, millions, maybe even billions. Who knows if you're going for years, but that they have made. But if you take that out and allow more people to access it, I think that you'll gain more fans. You'll gain
Yeah.
more in person attendance as well because now there are people who didn't know about it or didn't have much interest in it, has been watching online, now want to go see it in person. I
Yeah.
don't think that it's going to take people out of the seats. I think it would bring people in the seats. And
Yeah, 100%.
wouldn't you think that they make more money there when people are in
It's,
person filling the building?
it's well, it's hard to say because it's like you're.
It is hard. Like I don't know.
It's like this. It's like, so say if you're a businessman and the building's already filled.
Now
No,
you need more people, and now you want to make more dollars. Yeah, I get it.
the building's already filled, so it's like,
Right.
and then we can talk to ESPN, which is owned by Disney, and we can get a bag out of Disney by having a licensing deal by showing our stuff. So like, it makes great business. Like I'm not mad at
Sure.
it.
No, it
No,
does.
so
It does. It really
yeah,
does.
so like what I would say is, I would what I would do if I was like UFC is I wouldn't air nothing live on ESPN, but the fights that's like 3 months old and further, I
Perfect.
would
Yep.
have reruns to have
Yeah.
people like the 30 for 30s and stuff like that, like in the greatest stuff. I'll have reruns of all that stuff so that my community that I'm trying to grow is now instilled as this is one of America's pastime sports. So
Yeah.
like,
Full fights too. The full airing.
yeah, have the full
Happen.
fights. You
Yeah.
can out like, even like for example, because they
You
have
can
the
chop it up later, but yeah.
yeah, because they have the ear of ESPN, it's more of like a, you can do so much more. You can have the full fights, you can have the interviews you guys do, you can have 30 for 30s, walking behind the camps, like that could be on ESPN two. We ain't even got to see on ESPN one. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just
Right.
like
Right.
it could be on all the other different things, just so that if the person is interested in, you can, just like how we got Hard Knocks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like for NFL and all the different things. It's just having that other means for the viewer to get attached to it. And so it's like, because it's already hard, only because I don't think it's like heavily promoted to like the average viewer, like Super Bowl or the finals,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. I get it. I
and
don't think so either.
it's like it is not as big as like how the boxing comes together for like two big fighters. Like everybody's talking about those two big fighters.
Right.
UFC is actually more scheduled than we think. They have fights like every Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a lot of like contender stuff before they get to like the main events and like the championship stuff that comes like a month or two down the line. So like there's a lot of that stuff that we watch that's still live that might see somebody from your hometown fighting and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I would like to see. Um, Live, yes, but once it's done, put those reruns on
Yeah.
ESPN so that we can see the stuff that we didn't see. It's no longer paywall,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna go pay for it now. No, it's
Right.
3 months old. You know what I'm saying? Just put it out
Right.
there, or like how they do like the UFC stuff on YouTube. I feel like the stuff they put on YouTube can easily be stuff they put on ESPN, but I'm pretty sure it's all in ESPN Plus. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure they have that stuff in ESPN
I got
Plus. You know what I'm
you. Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Still paywall, but
Exactly. It's just like just make it a little bit easier, and I'm pretty sure they're
right.
like, nigga, go to YouTube.
Right. Right. Right.
Go to YouTube, bitch.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, shit.
Man, YouTube used to be the fucking place though for all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, YouTube's a little bit harder now, but hey,
It
it's
is.
still a great place. I think it's just the internet
Well,
itself.
there's nothing. I don't think there's any like Rumble tried, and they're still trying, but nothing's really big enough to take its place. It's kind of like Walmart. Who the fucking challenge Walmart is
Yeah, I
YouTube.
mean,
Who could
at the
challenge
end of the day,
YouTube?
at the end of the day, it's Google. You know what I mean? So it's like you always look back to like the what's powering it.
What's
You know what I'm
owning? Yeah,
saying?
right, right.
That's why
What's
when I talked about ESPN, the first thing I said was we got Disney behind.
Disney?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a little different. You're
Huge.
talking to Bob Iger and stuff, so it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Than us trying to be like, hey, make it free. He's like,
Right,
nigga,
right, right,
better go to that YouTube. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You better keep that shit on YouTube, man.
What you talking
Right,
about? He's fired. I want to pay my fighters more, nigga. That's how he gets
right,
paid.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? And then let's say like something for me. Let's say if I do go pro, I'm gonna be sitting there like, Dana White, let me get some more money. He be like, motherfucker, you'll
Right.
fight for free. You'll fight for
Well,
free.
yeah, weren't you the one that was
You
staying
was the
there
one
and
talking that
fucking
shit, right?
getting shit for free? Now you want more money?
You
Yo,
want the bonus? You want the knockout
take and
bonus?
spit, bro. You ain't got shit.
Right. So it's
That's
like, so it's
fair
like
points all
double-edged
the way
swords.
around.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you want the bag or not?
Right. That's fair. And I do think that fighters should get paid for their efforts in that because dude, you guys put well they I mean I'm gonna lump you in, you're still in it right now. You out there sparring, but maybe not for entertainment purposes, but y'all
Yeah.
put your bodies on the line, and when you take it to professional or some kind of an entertainment setting, I do believe I think that compensation should be, warranted, whether it's a couple bucks or however much
No,
the
yeah, 100%,
production
100%.
yeah puts it on. But yeah. Well, we're getting 2 hours, a long one on here, dude.
I
I
told you.
great conversation.
It's like I came radio, nigga.
Yeah, there you if we if if we wanted to push everybody to seeing your best content again, I mean, we're just gonna kind of shamelessly plug you again.
Yeah.
Where are they gonna go? What do you got upcoming? What should we be looking for?
So you definitely want to go to KaylinMaurice.com. KaylinMaurice.com is where I'm trying to have my hub of everything. So definitely go there. You can search the music, the merch, illustrations, all from KaylinMaurice.com homepage. If you go to the music page, you will see my latest albums, all my latest singles. If you click on them, hit listen, you'll be directed to your distribution service by choice, like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, things of that sort. So I would say my hub will be to go to KaylinMaurice.com. If you're trying to talk to me, any other platforms, it doesn't matter. If you can type in Kaylin Reese and there's a message button, I'm pretty sure I will see it. You know what I'm saying? It's very, I will see it. But yeah, I would say go there. In regards to upcoming, on May 26th, I have a upcoming single with my boy Johnny Tats, produced by my boy RB Got Beats. That song is called Small Circle. And so now that was something I was actually going to be on the album. But once I was like putting everything together, I was like, man, I think this would be a nice little song to put as a single, and then have the other stuff for an album to go with itself. So obviously, I'm talking about an album. My album, I'm planning on dropping that June 23rd of this year, of course. Typically around May, June, I realized that that's really the time I start. I guess I drop albums. I've been noticing that since Life Therapy, New
So you
Genesis.
just kind of shoot
This is
for it
this,
now.
this is the fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
I
I've been
got
noticing
you.
that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's not because I plan it at this time. I think it's more so about when I start to ramp up my
Okay.
creation.
I got you.
I start creating a lot more November, December, and then by the time January comes, at least the last 2 years or so, 3 years, I guess, when January comes, I have a slew of songs that can sound like something. So then I start putting in more work, and by the time February, March is here, I have something. So then April's here, I'm just running up the stuff. In May, I'm just just figuring stuff out. So I have a new project coming out June 23rd. Ideally, it's called Say Something. Got a few features on it. Um, my boy Chris Don't Do It to him. My boy Hot Boy Dula. Teo, I like this. Nice producer out here in Sac, but I got him for the rap feature. Got to show my boy some love. And a few others and things of that sort. All produced by me. All mixed and mastered by me. The song with my boy Chris Don't Do It to him. We both mixed and mastered that song together. But yeah, everything's on my production. And just really, just I would say this album was more so about me leading into my my I wouldn't want to say my West Coast heritage, but just how I grew up and me being, I would say, demonized for that, and I will explain that. So I had a conversation with somebody that was pretty really well endeavored in the music, and I asked him some of my music, and I sent him a few songs over, right? And I have like a couple albums out by this time already, and I only sent them a few songs that they asked for. When they gave me their synopsis of what type of artist I was, I guess they thought that I was a singer. I'm not too sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't get me wrong. Kaylin Reese. That's like a little singing name or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when he heard me rapping, like stuff like that, he was saying that I was. He said that my sound was too regional. He said you sound
Regional.
regional. He said you sound too regional. You sound like you sound like you just do Cali stuff. Where's your R&B at? Where's your trap at? Where's your this at? And I was like, and now mind you, this was last year. This is after the most motion. This was fairly new. This was new. You know what I'm saying? So he said that, and I was like, in the moment, I didn't not say I didn't know what to say because I was like, I wouldn't say it sounds regional. I still have a lot of other stuff, but he was just commenting on that one. So I refuted a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, let me listen to what he says because I'm not just trying to be contradictory to what somebody's saying. So I'm
Sure.
listening to it, get off the phone, and I was just like, I just wasn't feeling the assessment. I was like, bro, I never heard a nigga tell you 40 he was regional. I never heard somebody tell Too Short that was regional. I ain't heard nobody say anything about anybody from being LA. You just sound regional. And so then I was like, in hip hop, at basis of its core, we always put on for our region, and then it was
Yeah.
accepted by the nation, which made it like a hit or a classic, or it made that sound accepted, which made it like popular and things of that sort. So it's like, for example, when did Snoop Dogg stop sounding like he was from LA? You know what I'm saying? Nigga's been sounding like Snoop since he started. He
Yeah.
might he might
Always.
change. It could be a different beat. That nigga's still Snoop. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
you can hear it when it's a you can hear the beats though. Like when you hear a beat and
Yeah,
it's uh when I first watched Bad Boys 2, I didn't know that Dre did the fucking that Dre did the sound, the
mm,
music or soundtrack
right.
on that. And I but I heard it, I'm like, that's fucking Dre. I
Yeah,
looked it up. And I was right. I'm like, dude, you have your sound. Whether
yeah,
and even when you like, I know I'm learning punchline as well. Like I can hear when he makes a beat. There's just this. It's a feeling, you know.
yeah.
You could just you feel it, you hear it, and yeah, I wouldn't fucking label that regional. I would label that
Exactly.
the essence of you.
Sick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's what you're doing. And so like, so when he said that, I had to like kind of like look at the stuff that I made. And I remember I was talking to my friends stuff like that. And I'll ask them like, I was like, hey, when you look at me as a rapper, what type of rapper you think I am? And they're like, a conscious rapper, hip hop. I'm like, I said, yeah, that's right. And I was like, but do you think I make slaps? Nah, I don't really think so. And I'm like, so what do you categorize as a slap? We talk about the tempo, how it feels, this and that. So now I'll go through my discography, sitting down with somebody, and just push play. Is this a slap? Yeah, it's a slap. What about this one? Yeah, I want to. That it would be a bunch of them, but what I came to notice that sometimes it's more so my subject matter and like not the subject matter, but how I choose to rap on certain things. It makes it sound like it's like more of like a conscious type of feel, which is still cool. So like and that's me noticing the differences I'm making in my music over the years. So now after I did my last project and I have somebody saying that basically you sound like you're in this box, and I'm looking at all the growth that I made to my music and how I didn't use multiple different types of beats and different like very a lot of different variants of types of music. And so when he said it was regional, I took it to heart and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my shit sound even more regional.
Ha! Embrace that shit.
I embraced it, and so I made sure that to make this like a full circle story, I made sure to incorporate some of those feelings and times and of fun that I had when I was baby hyphy, Turf Willie, Cool Guy Willie, Kaylin Maurice, all the different learning struggles, all the different trials and tribulations, and all the like I said, the great experience that I had. Let's go ahead and put those in the one compilation versus being like, okay, I want this to be like that, I want that to be like this. It's just like, nah, I want to stand on me feeling like me and having fun and talking about the shit that I can speak about, and just being able to like actually give off what I experienced to the listeners. That's all it really is. And so, like I said, I dove back into that. You know what? I'm gonna be a little more regional. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna run that flag. I'm gonna stand up and be like, yeah, I'm from Sacramento, California. Yeah,
Yeah. What is even the problem with that? I don't even see the problem
exactly.
with it.
And it was like that. And so like
Like
that's
he
what.
says it as it's a bad thing, and you embrace it. You're like,
Yeah, and I, and
okay,
I, I
all
was
right,
like,
well
yeah, I'm
then
gonna
fuck
embrace
it.
that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and so that was like I would say like that was one of the fueling, like the burning igniters of me going towards the sound of the album. So like I would say I spent a lot of time on having fun first and foremost, a lot of time having fun, and a lot of time also still on being direct in my purpose and what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do, and still because I'm never not going to give some gems and still drop knowledge. So it's like it's me doing everything I've been doing, but times it by 10. That's how I looked at it. And not even knowing that before, like how we're talking about the training, that there was a train to failure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think I'm on top of the world. Yeah, niggas liking this shit, blah blah blah. And you got this one person saying, "Man, that shit regional as hell." Only heard 5 songs from like hella. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's somebody that carries weight. They know their music more than I know my music. You know what I'm saying? But then
Sometimes they get
it's
stuck in
like,
their
nah,
fucking sometimes they get stuck in their opinion and their ways, and then they stick other people in that same type of a box,
yeah,
like you were saying, you had a different persona to him and you came out, you give him something different from what he hears from you, right? It was a
yeah.
switch up, and he's like, "Well, this ain't you. What is all that
Nah,
other says?" Like,
you
"No, this is me. It's all me. What the fuck do you mean it ain't
heard
me?"
5 songs, some with singles, and other 3 songs are from each different project. So
Yeah,
it's like it's not going to be an encompassing case of Kaylin Maurice. To
right.
give you.
Dude, fantastic conversation,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'm honored that you that you took this the interview for me, man. It was a great opportunity to discuss, worldviews, discuss kind of the direction that you're going,
Yeah.
influence you want to make on society, family, all this stuff, man. I just I want to thank you
Heck yeah, man.
for letting it all out, man, and letting us
Yes, sir.
in, and I want to congratulate you on all the things that you're doing. I do see success in your future. Damn near everybody that I'm going to be talking to, I can't, I don't know where the future is going to go with interviews right now. I'm only doing people that I really support um,
Appreciate that, man.
yeah, and have, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan, so
Yeah.
I'm keeping it to people that I'm supporting. I like, but eventually I might start talking to opposing sides. I don't. Again,
Yeah.
I just don't know where it's going. But
It's gonna be a straight debate with your ass, boy. Don't act
yeah,
like you know where it's
dude,
going.
I'm
He's like,
probably.
y'all know where it's going. He's like,
I don't know how to not push back. Like if I hear something, dude, I like to
he's like,
challenge, man.
well,
Yeah, that's exactly that's right, guys. You're
well,
You
but
will
not.
that will
I,
eventually go, it'll probably end up going into that direction, but not to the people that
yeah,
well, I mean, I don't know, maybe we get into a conversation one day and we start challenging each other's worldviews and see where we come out, That'd be
let's see where it's
I'm
at.
yeah, I'm okay with that. But until that day, man,
Yes, sir.
again, extending this thank you from anybody who comes across this video later. We thank you for your time, your effort. We all support what you're doing, um, dude. Continue to be an awesome individual, man. Keep being a great father, and keep pushing, dude. The light and the love that you have on society, man. Keep pushing that shit. As far as you can reach. So. Yeah, man. You got any last things you want to
Of course, man.
art?
First and foremost, yeah, thank you to yourself, man, my boy Andrew, STC Media, or whatever it changes over to the next thing. 100% thank you. Since you hopped into the fucking comments, you always been 100% top supporter. You feel me? Always tapped in, always looked at ways you can help out, whether it was me or the other various artists that we were tapped in with. Yeah, you always been like I said, putting your best foot forward to help out with the thing you do is promotion. So no matter what, you're always thinking about the next person. Even when I had the conversation with you, when we had the vigilant talk, and seeing how integrated you were with that job, and and all the stuff you were doing with moving from city to city and things like that, it was like a lot of, like I said, discipline and perseverance that I seen off of you. So yeah, it made me want to, of course, keep you in the circle. And when you actually have a favor or anything, I'm here for it. You feel me? So I
Bro,
definitely appreciate you, my boy.
that that means more than you know, man. That really means a lot to me. I very much appreciate it. And I will say that same here, dude. Any fucking thing, if I can do it and it's not even needed, man. If it's wanted and I can do it, I got you too, man. Don't ever fucking hesitate to reach out, which I don't think you would.
Not
And
at all.
trust me, man, I hesitate to reach out, but if I'm reaching out, dude, I won't hesitate. Like if I need something, man, I'll do that because I do trust you on that one, man. So
Definitely.
awesome, dude. Thank you so much. And someday down the line, hopefully as this thing grows, I'd love to get you back on here, get you more
100%.
recognition, dude, and try and push some
Shit.
attention your way,
You
man.
might see me in a training facility near you or some shit. I might be
You're
the
damn
first.
right,
You
dude.
know what I'm saying? But nah,
That's
man,
what's
sounds
up.
great, bro.
All right, man. Well, one last time, thanks, dude, and we'll talk again, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Have a great day,
Yes,
brother.
sir. See ya.
Yes, sir.
Guys, another fantastic conversation with, like I said, incredible human being, man. Incredible. We have some of the best people on the planet um, coming to visit us and have some conversations. I have a lot of people on the list, and I'm excited to bring everybody this uh, this vision that I have of community and direction that I would love for the people that I know to try and push and change society into. We lead by example. I don't think that there's a good boss out there that doesn't know how to do the job that he's telling others to do. If you don't know how to get down there in the mud and work with your fellow people, then what the fuck do you have to offer? So I think that the for the most part, like I said in the beginning with these interviews, they're going to be with people that I support, people I have love for and respect for, and I would like for us to get together and figure out how we can collaborate in pushing society in a better direction. And I do think that visual v- visual accountability, as you see us growing on the social medias, you see the projects that we're working on, the people that we're working with. That is us leading by example. You see the individuals we keep in our life, and I hope that this encourages other people to find that type of community, ones that aren't scared to stand up for what they believe in and verbally push that shit out, and physically live it. So another great conversation, and I want to thank everybody for being on here one last time. So thank you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this out to your people. Go and visit KM and show some support. Thanks, guys.